He does say, hello ladies, obviously. He does say,
hello people.
that him and WrestleMania 2000 have a lot in common, and I've put they're both shit. Hello and welcome back to the only wrestling podcast that exclusively reviews and reimagines the worst of wrestling's past. We are Better Call Creative, and as ever, I am joined with Linda McMahon in his corner, Sam Chance.
Hello.
With Stephanie McMahon in his corner, Jack Chance.
That means I'll win.
Hello. And with the brother of Vince McMahon in my corner, the unknown McMahon.
Oh, yeah.
I am your host.
We should call him Earl.
Earl
McMahon.
What was his name?
I don't know.
Didn't tell you because he was going to be bought in for the bastard son.
Probably in this
Probably
storyline.
Robert or something like that.
Robert McMahon.
Oh, Mick McMahon.
Mick McMahon. But if that doesn't give you an idea, it is WrestleMania season, and we are taking a trip back to 2000 when WrestleMania went 2000. WrestleMania 16. Have you enjoyed checking out the greatest year in WWF history?
Oh, you look back, you do. What? Ew? Ew?
Alright, so. Jack?
No, not really. I forgot a lot of this pay-per-view.
Yeah, and we will get to why we didn't enjoy 2000 very shortly. But before we get there, as ever, we take you back to the world of 2000. Topping the UK charts on April the 2nd, 2000, when this pay-per-view happened, Melanie Sue and Lisa Left Eye Lopez was Never Be the Same Again. Never gonna be the same.
Or something like that.
That's how funny now.
Never be the same again.
That's
probably about their boss man after the first match. Yeah. And over the pond now they had Maria by Santana and Rob Thomas. And topping the box office was Lake Placid, a film about a giant crocodile. So,
I bet that's been on the horror channel recently.
But after watching both our teams lose, with Liverpool and West Brom losing.
These up my other team won.
No, that's true. On our record day, what was happening in the world of football? Well, the latest West Bromwich Albion match featured me. It did, because it was Manchester City 2.
Oh, is this when you were
West Bromwich Albion 1, and I missed a penalty on the pitch that day.
Oh,
yeah.
That own goal you scored to send your team down, wasn't it?
Useless.
Yes. We lost 2-1.
Well, that the year you nearly went down.
It was indeed, yes, it was. Lee Hughes scored a goal that day.
Not Stacey Caldicott.
No, we will get to Stacey later on in the podcast. But Liverpool, they had better. They actually played on this Sunday, and they played Coventry City away and won 3-0. Two goals from Owen.
Better days.
Better days.
From Heskey.
Leave the memories alone.
Yes.
Losing 3-0 to Watford. Beat Coventry 3-0.
Yeah, so it was a better day back then.
It was. And Alloa again.
We couldn't find Alloa. I struggled to find Alloa.
Did you ever find that one?
No. They just live 1 week ago. That's all it is with Alloa.
So we probably lost.
But Jack, I believe before we get into the delights of WrestleMania 2000, I believe you have another poll offering.
I do. It's 4 albums, all released around the date
of
WrestleMania 2000.
So
or 16 if you want to be numerical.
Yes. So 2000's also numerical.
Yes, but it ain't the 2000th WrestleMania.
So when it gets to the 2000th WrestleMania, it'll be
WrestleMania
16.
Because that never happened. Right,
Vince will still be booking it.
your first album
Oh, yeah.
is The Menace by Elastica.
Okay, you're going to have to give me some more information. Never heard of it.
Elastica?
Help us
Doesn't
out.
ring a bell. I think I could guess
What did I sing? Rock.
I believe they sing the old Sky Sports song, were it?
Oh, the
They're
ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
That's it.
I
know
think
what
that's
it is now.
Elastica.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
There
There you go. You know.
I thought it was.
Four.
Yes, there.
I guess that's going to be Spike.
He had an album.
Number 2 is Infinite by Sarah Tavarius.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never heard of any of that. Just a power metal band who released an album
Where
on
that
this
from?
day. I
I
think
see
it's
clearly.
Swedish.
I'm not Swedish. Are you Swedish?
Are you Swedish? Are you Swedish? Number 3 is Stomping Ground. Not the paper. No, we'll see that in the future by Goldfinger.
Oh.
They did the cover of 99 Red Balloons. Which
Oh,
is on this
okay.
album.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's not. The last album is The X's by The X's,
Yeah.
which is the debut album of
Which will win the poll, but
Hopefully.
we never know. And we hand it over to you guys. So head over to our Twitter page now at BCC Pod. Give us a follow and give us a vote to let us know who Jack should be reviewing. And the reviews themselves make their way over to our website, which is bettercallcreative.com. And that gives you a snapshot of what the world was like in 2000. I was missing a penalty. Liverpool were beating Coventry. And the X's had just released an album.
And Sean Paul.
Shonda Paul.
Shonda Paul, not Blue Cantonero.
Doesn't he sing D-Lo and Godfather? So, WrestleMania 2000. We are here. And yes, instead of it
We
being
regret
WrestleMania... Do you know what the theme tune was?
California.
Yeah. Do you know what it was supposed to be?
California.
Yeah, but they couldn't get
this was Teddy Lund's theme later, where they redid the song.
Yeah,
If you listen to the
rocky.
music,
It's the same thing. It
Same
was Jim
thing.
Johnston creation, trying to create California
Yeah.
love.
yeah, we can't have Tupac. Maybe the Saudis wanted to book him, like they did Yoko and what?
Tupac.
Can we have Tupac up here?
Definitely going over. You're beating the Fiends.
Tupac and X-Pac.
Tupac. Champ,
He
baby.
made for the rights to the word back.
Tupac, X-Pac and Pac.
The bastard. But there you go. So yes, California plays us in, and we are outside of the arena, which is quite small by
Yeah, it's only like
Yeah, it's tiny, isn't it?
19,000.
19,722 fans.
Well, this is the same arena for 12.
Was
And
it
the
same
pond,
one?
is it?
The Anaheim Pond.
Yeah, so it was 12 as well.
Oh right, I
I
didn't
was
know
expecting Piper and Goldust to pull up and start fighting each other.
They do reference the zip line, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
for
do
sure.
later
Alice
on.
now does do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get there. But JR introduces us in, and we head to the Fink, who sends us to our national anthem singer for the evening.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, see, does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Lillian Garcia. That was quite a bit of an anticlimax. I mean, she did it perfectly adequately, I thought. There was plenty of Americans holding their hands on their hearts.
Yeah, America.
But it wasn't a big superstar singer like we
More
used
iced
to.
tea.
No. It's Sinomania, though. There's a lot of signs going on in 2000.
That was the style at the time.
Yes, you're stealing my gimmick, damn it.
And we go to a nice package hyping up the history of WrestleMania in black and white, but then it goes into the colourful main event of the evening as
So
it's
they have
McMahon.
Hogan in black and white.
They did,
like
yes.
that.
It all began on March 31st, 1985.
Welcome to the greatest sports entertainment spectacular of all time. Welcome to Wrestlemania.
And from that historic moment on, the world has witnessed the greatest main events in sports entertainment history. Center stage at WrestleMania. That was then. This is now.
A fatal four-way elimination match.
The World Wrestling Federation's biggest WrestleMania ever. See a McMahon in each corner. The fatal four-way elimination match for the WWF titles.
A dysfunctional family.
What the hell kind of family did I marry into? Stephanie slapped her own mother. If you want to say Vince, you were there.
One man's dream will come true. One man only will raise the WWF Championship when the battle is over. Triple H, The Big Show, The Rock, Mick Foley.
WrestleMania, where championship lore is born and legends live forever. This is the crowning achievement in sports entertainment.
But the main event is Vince McMahon versus Shane McMahon versus Stephanie McMahon versus Linda McMahon featuring other people.
With Rock, Foley, Triple H and Big Show in their corners.
Yes. Fireworks and pyro goes off as JR tells us that 19,000 fans have sold out the biggest event of the year. But it's not what we're used to. And King is then introduced, and then the Fink tells us that the Godfather and D'Lo Brown are accompanied to the ring by Ice-T.
Grab your bitches!
Well,
Grab your bitches!
well, he does say it though, didn't he?
No, he's just
'Cause
repeating it there.
I thought he, at the beginning, because that's the second line, I thought he was going to say it. And he did say it. I thought maybe they've told him not to say it. And then when he carried on
He
later
did
and
say it.
shouted it,
Quite
I went,
a-
oh, okay.
It already feels out of date.
It's
Very dated.
Yeah.
And the Aggression album had just come out.
Yeah, it had just come out.
I couldn't tell from this pay-per-view.
Jerry Lawler loves the word bitches. Though.
Yeah.
Every time everyone says it.
Oh, why did he tell JR to grab it?
Yeah, grab him, JR.
I like the silence after that.
The Hoes are backing up Godfather and D'Lo Brown, and they gyrate.
I was
As
expecting Tim White to ref this when I saw that.
Tim White didn't have the best night, did he?
No, he
And,
didn't know, actually.
And we go to the Godfather, who takes over the mic from Ice-T. He pops the crowd and invites us on the Ho train. But to spoil the party, Big Boss Man's heel theme interrupts.
Yeah.
Featuring Paul Buchanan. Shield.
Yeah, well, he did. He actually interrupted the offer of a blunt, didn't he?
Yeah.
You got to roll
No,
up
I know
a
you
fanny.
don't. Have you heard Bruce Pritchard's thing? I know you don't like him, but I've been listening to him. Apparently, Vince Russo and Vince McMahon didn't know what a fatty or a blunt was. They thought it was cigars.
No,
Because they say,
So
why is
that's
he
why they allowed
chatting
it.
about cigars? No, it's weed.
How much does that go, Wade? Yes. Big Boss Man interrupts this very dated thing that's going on in the crowd, and Big Boss Man is teaming with Bull Buchanan. So yeah, next year, Godfather and Bull Buchanan are teaming up as part of WrestleMania 17.
And D'Lo and Boss Man, and not in the company.
Not in the company anymore. It won't be the last ones who aren't in the company anymore come next year. How times have changed. Bull Buchanan, though, fucking hell, he looks in good shape, doesn't he? I mean, he looks like an absolute
Best
boss.
he ever looked.
There's a
Before he
crowd.
got bit by his dog.
Got rabies.
Got rabies.
There's a crowd sign that tells that a kid he's holding tells us that he loves Boss Man.
Oh,
and
I
Bull.
saw that. I like that. There's at least one. There's one fan.
You went to Mania with
Look, I
that.
can understand Bossman, but why do you have to have Bull in
Well,
it?
I'll get to my thoughts on Bull Buchanan at the end. D'Lo Brown and Godfather versus Bull Buchanan and Bossman is our opening match. And Bull and D'Lo start out. D'Lo gets the better using pace and hitting a heel kick. D'Lo then tells Bull he sucks, and as a double team spot sees Godfather hit a leg drop. Bossman is in, but fares no better and eats a clothesline early on. Jerry Lawler and JR now pimp the aggression CD.
Yeah.
Did you hear him go on about Bossman's winning record as well?
Oh, yeah,
At
sparkling.
Mania.
Did he have a winning record?
Well, he
at this
lost
point?
the year before to Taker.
He lost
And
the
he
year
lost to
before.
Perfect.
He lost to Perfect.
I don't think he's ever won.
How did he get
I
on
think
at 6?
6, he beat Hakeem. 5, him and Hakeem, I think, beat the Rockers, I think.
So he's 2-2.
8, he was in that 8-man tag.
Oh, he did win that.
Oh, well, he
Yeah.
didn't really win, did he?
Well,
he
he-
didn't get the pin.
Well, Virgil didn't win, did he? So,
What's that going to do?
Very
he was
Virgil.
on the team.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear it. Now I know it. Don't agree with it. But yeah,
Sparkling.
D'Lo gives Bull 10 punches. There's an amazing looking agility clothesline though from an Irish whip.
Oh, Jay, I love that.
Yeah, proper, best move in the whole match.
Oh, when he jumps up the top.
Yeah.
That's the only move he does, though, to be honest.
Bossman gets a blind tag and the heels hit a double uppercut. There's another great move from Bull as he hits a scissor kick for a 2. The referee does nothing to stop Godfather getting involved.
Yeah,
when it all sort of boils to. 2 crowd signs on the hard camp. Paul and JD are gay.
Well,
Very, very
Yeah,
much dated. Bull locks in a bear hug, but D'Lo manages to battle out of it after about a minute. After the double team, Bossman tells us that we're the man. That's what he says. We're the man!
I thought he said who's the man?
I can't tell you how grammatically incorrect that is, Bossman.
Bulldog.
Godfather shakes the ropes to stop a top rope attack from Bull, and there's a lovely Hurricane Rana from D'Lo off the top, I must admit. Godfather gets the hot tag and lays out both the heels. Ho Chain is hit on the Bossman, and then D'Lo goes up top for the lowdown, but it's blocked. Bossman hits a sidewalk slam, and Bull, off the top rope, whether it's legal or not, that's another thing, hits a top rope leg drop, made famous by Bull Nakano, and gets the 3 count for a heel win to our opener of
What a start.
Mania.
And then they just walk off chasing the hoe.
Yeah, the Godfather fucking get him. I don't care. They did nothing to help me.
Bloody hoes.
You're useless.
I'm going to open WrestleMania 2000 by sending to you, Sam, and to tell me what you thought of that.
It was this is a Raw match, and you'll hear that a lot. This is a Raw match. What is this? A Mania? Can you imagine this now?
What was the was it the police versus the pimp? Is that the idea of this? Or?
This is a raid.
I don't know what the narrative
To
is.
be honest, that's what I did think when I was watching that. I was thinking they'd be raided.
Yeah, just I didn't understand.
Ice-T don't give a crap, did he? He buggered up, did he? After that, done my bit, pay me.
Jack?
Yeah, I don't think it was an opener for WrestleMania. It's probably one of the weakest openings to WrestleMania.
The crowd was hot.
Ever.
Though. You'd say that.
The crowd was hot for everything. Until
Get
one
the
match.
gun pop for one there.
Which we'll talk about. But this was, I think the right team won because I think you're trying to build Bull and Bossman's a good foil
Yeah,
for
because he hadn't
Bull.
long come in, had he?
No, and I think he's got more traction. Well, at the time, you think he's got more traction in the company going forward than Godfather and D'Lo. But
What happened with these pair? Because obviously Bossman never turned face, and he was there till 2002.
they beat the
Well,
APA
he left
at
in
Backlash.
2000.
Oh,
for a
did he?
bit. And then he come back just after the Alliance before 2002 because he beat up Austin on SmackDown. They helped Booker when he come out in his suit. You know, like when he first come back in the Attitude and he had the thing on his head.
Yeah.
He did something similar because
Oh,
that
I
was
didn't
just
even
his
know he'd
Titan
gone.
Trot in 2000.
Because Bull goes with RTC and then with Cena, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do beat APA after this at Backlash.
They
They
headlined the main event on Raw, fighting The Rock in a handicap
Handicap.
cage match. Bull and Boss
Jesus.
Man.
Bloody hell, they're really pushing him there, eh?
Russo's gone.
Yeah.
Bull is very, you can tell he's quite athletic, but he's very green.
Well, I
Yes,
thought
he does.
Bull was brilliant.
He stumbles a little bit.
I thought Bull
Yeah,
looked
he's-
good in the match. He
Thank
was-
God for Boss Man, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I
I
thought
think he
Bull
keeps
was all right.
it going.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I think you can tell Bossman and Godfather's days are behind.
I think
the better
Godfather's.
days.
I mean, he
Godfather's
looks
just a
atrocious.
gimmick.
Both of these was on WrestleMania
Yeah.
8 years earlier.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but at least,
Godfather-
at
one of
least
them was in the
Godfather
main event.
turned up on time this
One of
time.
them wandered out. But he,
Oh, can you imagine that? If I was taking out, he was just D'Lo and then he come out after in the middle of the match.
Godfather looks awful, I think.
Yeah, he
I
was
mean, his
terrible.
hair.
He's
Yeah.
doing his hair. What is he doing?
He looks-
2000.
atrocious.
He looks
This is
terrible.
what everybody was going to wear in 2000.
No, terrible. After the bell,
And
the
there's
creepy,
D'Lo.
the creepy heels are chased after the hose, and we get vignette number 1 of Triple H and Stephanie basically putting themselves over. JR then questions why they look so relaxed, sort of teasing what's to come, and then we go to the backstage as Tim White tells the
This was on
participants.
Heat for it.
Yeah.
We tells the participants in the Hardcore Battle Royal the rules of the match.
Which I
out
think he
first-
forgets half of it, though.
Oh God, they all do. Taz especially. Taz is out first.
It's Taz! It's Taz!
Been on the roster 3 months at this point. One of the hottest babyface reactions at Royal Rumble 2000 when he debuts.
That was just the shot on that bit where they all sat there and you just saw Taz right at the
Yeah,
front.
I was
You just
thinking,
thought,
God.
He gets
What
a
a-
big pop, though.
he does get a big pop.
He does. Big Vis doesn't, and he's out next.
Poor Vince.
And then we get the posse who are out to their brilliant theme.
That was good.
Hardcore Ollie is out next, and then Tucker and Funaki. I love the fact that they're in this match. Headbangers are out with novelty bloomers, and then the APA.
That was their gimmick for it.
Yes, the APA.
There was the cones. Did they have the cones?
The APA are out next, and then rounding off the bunch is the Hardcore champion Crash Holly, who I have put looks a bit like Stacey Caldicott. He does.
Yeah.
There's his reference. Well done,
Stacey
Stacey.
Caldicott. That's one per episode.
But yes, that is the entrance for our Hardcore Battle Royal. So 13 men, I think.
13,
something like
yeah.
that. There's a Bulldog wasn't in the match. Wasn't on the card.
I think he was in rehab.
Oh,
From
was
the
he?
podcast I listened to Bruce Pritchard at
To
this
try to
point.
get his
This
height
is
back.
I don't know.
Where was Mark Henry?
I don't know. Where was Gangrel?
Because
Who
Mark Henry
apparently-
beat Viscera at No Way Out.
Yeah, I thought this was the sort of Andre the Giant Memorial Battle.
Yeah,
Royal
this
spot,
was
wasn't it?
everybody who ain't got a match.
Yeah,
You can
well,
go in this.
Yeah, this. Yeah.
Well, so everyone out.
Well,
Are we ready?
everybody who had a match, they just lumped him in other matches.
Yes. I can't.
I think these are the people that actually got missed off all these other matches.
I can't really begin to tell you how hard this was. This is the hardest match I've ever had to write now.
Actually, I made a note of this.
Play-by-play.
I made a note of this somewhere. JR actually said this is hard to call, and I've put it's hard to review.
Yeah, I've got that. So, okay.
All I've put is every time the belt swaps, as you go, Funaki champ, everyone run to the back, Rodney champ, Joey Ebb champ.
I'll let you do the play-by-play then. So we've got everyone out. Everyone is out of the ring straight away, and everyone brawls. If the champion has to be pinned, surely they'd just all attack Crash. That's the first poor logic. Taz obviously realises this, so attacks Crash. And he hits an underhook belly to belly for a 3. So Taz is our new champion. They announced that. The logic here is still a bit cack. Viscera squashes Taz, and Taz, hottest babyface, has lost the title in 30 seconds to Vis. Vis is the new champion. Chaos and carnage everywhere. I don't know how to keep notes on this at all.
No.
Posse try and take out Vis. Crash is busted open. White tells someone to slow down.
There's a lot of
We miss
headshots,
most
isn't
of what's going on. Bradshaw doesn't give a fuck if he beats people up with the metal sheet.
Nails everyone.
Taz, though, thinks, fuck that, I'm getting you with a metal sheet. Hardcore Holly gets a 2. So does Mosh. Beat Gas is bleeding. JR tells us he's challenging to call. I agree. Finally in the ring. So many headshots. Viscera is slammed. And then APA, for some reason, just put Funaki and Tucker on top. But Mosh, obviously, doesn't realise it. He jumps outside. Bradshaw's like, get off. But Funaki is announced as champion. Tucker hates this, so we get the Benny Hill chase. So they get to the back, and the posse attack Funaki first and bicker, but Rodney gets the best of it. Rodney has won a championship at WrestleMania. Rodney.
God pressure.
Joey Abs covers him to become champion. Thrasher covers him to become champion. Lawler drops a Frogger reference. We back out. Pete Gas uses a fire extinguisher to become champion. He's really busted open.
He bled though.
Taz hits a suplex and covers him. The ref almost misses it. Holly looks at it, lays the weakest, lamest kick on him, and then just wanders off.
He buggers off, and then he pins him again.
Taz wins the belt.
Did you hear somebody after this when Taz was covering people, even Joe was like, why am you covering people? He's the champ. And did you hear like somebody shouting Johnny? Somebody was shouting Johnny. I think it was on Pete Gas or something.
I honestly don't know anything that happened in this.
It could have been, but it sounded like somebody was shouting Johnny.
Taz then covers Mosh, and I have no idea why. JR calls this amazing carnage. We get an ECW chant as Taz again covers Crash. And Tim White counts.
Yeah.
Pin. What would he have done?
And still champion.
The first move in the match since Taz's previous belly to belly is Taz's second belly to belly. We get another cover from Taz. Crash covers Taz after the shot with a metal plate, and even though Taz kicks out, they give Crash the win, and he's now champion. The Taz mission is applied as we get the countdown from the crowd. Hardcore Holly comes in and smashes a jar of sweets over the head of Taz and Crash.
Yeah,
sort of. Both of them stumble backwards and desperately trying not to count it in time. Tim White realises he's counting far too quick.
No, he like counts and they go, oh!
Yeah, goal. It's a beauty how goalkeeper.
He does, do he?
He just, whoa!
Earthquake!
And Hardcore Holly wins the title right on the bell. No one knows what's happening. JR's saying he's kicked out. Fink announces Hardcore Holly as the champion.
Even Fink's confused when he says it. And he goes, I think there was a reverse of the decision. Hardcore won. No, there's not. And then Lawler, I want to see a replay. No, you don't. Because even when they're watching, he goes, well, that didn't clear anything up.
Hardcore Holly sort of smirks, knowing he's fucked it up. Crash Holly looks like bemused as to what's happened. I've just put, this is WrestleMania 2000 in one match.
It is.
It's awful.
No, this is the Attitude Era in one match.
It is awful. It is one of the worst matches I have ever seen. It's not even good hardcore action. There's too much bullshit. It's a terrible finish. Taz deserves better. And literally, this has got to be one of the worst matches to both watch, to review, and to think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jack, top that.
Well,
don't defend this.
Well, it's just a hardcore match, eh? So it's
You
the
don't
hardcore
see any of it, though?
Smart. Well, you do. Everybody fights around while Viscera walks around for 8 minutes and then randomly goes to the top.
Yeah. What was that?
It's just...
You could tell the APA
Funaki had the best logic. I won the belt, I'm running off.
Run on. Yeah. It's just a bit...
Why did Taz do that? Pin him, bugger off for 15
He
minutes.
thought he had to get
It
more
obviously
pins.
didn't work.
No.
And the finish didn't help. It was a bit...
Crap.
Yeah. It was a bit... It's very 2000.
It says it's all about this card, the fact that it's not guaranteed to be the worst match of the night.
Nah.
No, because I don't expect anything more than what it was.
Yeah, you could. You see the hardcore title, you kind of knew what it was going to be, particularly when you got 13 men in it.
I just felt sorry for Farouk, really. Why is he going to put up with this?
Well, the APA are in it to win it for Funaki and Tucker. They did win it.
Yeah.
They carry on fighting.
Oh, is that why they're mini? Have they been paid off by...
obviously, that's
is
why
that
Guy
what it
and,
was?
yeah, that's why they call it Guy and
I was going to say because when watching the APA, I thought they don't want to be in this match.
No one did.
Tucker don't win it. Mosh don't win it.
Mosh wanted to be in it. He pinned everyone.
He did, but he never won. The only 4 people that didn't win the belt in this was Mosh, Tucker and the APA.
You might as well have just had Crash, Hardcore, and Taz.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
We'll get to the rebookings later on. We get clips now.
Oh, you are like man.
We get clips now to
Sam's adding
techno.
more.
We get
I
clips.
have.
More. Could have more. We get clips now to techno bloopy music for WWF Access, and a load of the roster tells us how great it is. Undertaker's there?
Yeah.
In the
Big
and
Ginge
Austin.
and Austin.
Yeah. Hey, Austin been ran over.
Yeah.
Why is he there?
Austin's
Oh,
run
yeah.
over and Taker's buggered off.
It goes on far too long now, doesn't it? The clip. Obviously,
it's
it's just sweep up the shit in the ring.
There's loads of sweets everywhere.
Maybe them still trying to watch the replay and figure out the finish.
I did say though, Sam rejoices at the sight of the blimp.
Oh, the blimp.
They love the blimp.
But it wore in the arena.
No, it wasn't the same. We get a review of the Hardcore Battle Royal, and episode 31, Al Snow is in the bogs talking to someone. Blackman comes in looking suspicious, and then we get some tits as TNA are on the way.
Oh, Lawler or is
Call me more 2000.
Yeah, sure.
It's just tits.
Yeah.
you go from Al Snow Blackman to tits.
So here we go, Al Snow, and if anyone questioned whilst watching our episode 31 why we didn't choose to do head cheese, this is your head cheese because it's Al Snow and Steve Blackman. Al tries to get a head cheese chant going, then steals a sign. Al then introduces, following on from some random comment about wanting a mascot who was a pygmy who could play head cheese on his ass
arse or
cheeks.
something.
They have Chester McCheesington, a little man in a cheese suit.
Yeah. You can find that on you.
It's the second most ridiculous mascot after the Boiler Man. And he's out.
Oh, I want to see him at the Army next season.
Chester
The
McCheesington.
McCheese sponsored by some cheese.
Sponsored by Cathedral City.
Al gets him to play Let's Go Head Cheese by slapping it on his ass. Oh, and TNA are out next. And then
What
that's
a
it. It is, yeah. Sounds like it's Sonic.
It does a bit.
Robotic.
Oh, dear. TNA versus Head Cheese. Match starts with static noise as JR takes a break with his mic.
I think he did this on purpose.
Lawler shits himself. He thinks, oh God,
He's got to be played by
what am I going to do?
She got a meat she wants, I'm sure. Write her a check. It's going to be a test. All right. Okay. Like you said, we got the... Wait, JR, what happened? Something happened to JR's headsets. Can you talk? That's okay. I can do this by myself, JR. This is great. Hey, Trish. Matter of fact, Trish Stratus, come over here and sit by me. JR's got a case of the lockjaw. All right, we got TNA. Wow, check it out. I hope you haven't screwed this up too badly. What? Oh, are you back? Still got a loud buzz there, JR. Here, try mine. Oh, you can't have mine.
Tested to clothesline, and then there's a big
Did you
boost
hear
by
that?
test.
He got it back and it went and he goes, here, have mine. Oh, no, you can't have mine. You must have done Vince in the
Oh,
back.
dear.
Must have been going ballistic.
But we are literally JR-less at this time. Al Snow hits his front insecurity for a 2, and then Blackman and Albert trade shoulder tackles. Al dumps out Test, and inside Ed Cheese hits a double clothesline. There's a diving headbutt by Steve Blackman now, but the crowd are dead.
Yeah.
Dead as a doornail. It feels like Blackman is the heel, as he hits a low blow and a headbutt. Yeah, it's weird. The heels now finally get offense, and they hit a double power bomb, sort of lift up move. It was a bit weird, but it looked okay on Al, but Blackman breaks it up. There's an Asai moonsault by Al on Albert, and JR references
These two styles certainly are conflicting here. This match has those bowling shoe tendencies. It's somewhat ugly.
That this is bowling shoe ugly.
Even
JR
no,
knows.
because this has got some bowling shoe tendencies.
Yeah,
This is crap.
Yeah.
Might as well have said that.
It is awful. There's a leg drop version of the demolition. Is it the demolition device? Is that what they use?
Decapitation.
Demolition.
Yeah.
It's that kind of move anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know what that head cheese
It was
called.
similar to the smoking guns finish.
Yes,
That was
yeah,
it.
yeah. Albert breaks up the pin. Cheese Man chases Trish outside.
Just to the molester.
Yeah,
Just to the molester.
I know, that's pot and kettle, eh? With
Allegedly.
And we get some more static. There's a finish sequence now. Sees Al taken out over the guardrail. Albert press slams Blackman, and Test hits a top rope elbow. And 3 heels running have now won matches at WrestleMania. Jack, tell me what your thoughts on that match were.
It is probably the worst match. One of the worst matches we've ever reviewed. The crowd was flat. The whole match felt like they're working different to what they are. They're the faces, TNA. Head cheese are the heels. They've got Trish, who... I mean, the backstage
Don't do
just
anything.
focused on her tits, so I know what she's there for. And they never do a spot with her.
Exactly.
Except the cheese chase.
Chester chased her like
Once.
earlier as
Yeah.
well, and I think he went
Maybe
quick.
people should ask.
So they had to run off.
Maybe
Do it
people should
again.
ask that, Trish. Do you remember at your first Mania when you got chased by some cheese?
Well, it's just like she was there and she never did anything, so what's the point in having the manager?
Is
If
this
she
why
ain't
he
going to
wants
get
to
up
come
and
back and fight
distract...
Sasha Banks at Mania to get rid of the cheese?
It is an absolutely awful,
is.
awful match. Terrible.
This is
We will remind you, and
Yeah.
obviously we'll talk about that match later on, but for our Wrestle Cup WrestleMania match, we chose X-Pac and Road Dogg versus...
Kane and McKay.
Kane.
That's
and
more
Keith.
because what's happening there.
But this has to be a contender.
I forgot about this match, I must say.
Well,
when
I
it come
remember-
out, I thought, what?
I knew this match happened because I can kind of remember the card, but I don't remember it being this bad.
JR knew it was awful.
That's what.
I
Yeah,
mean,
he
he
broke
was-
his
he was-
headset on purpose. This is a heat match, not a raw match.
It has to be the
There's no
comedy
heat
spot,
in
though,
this.
doesn't it? It has to be the comedy spot. You've got to get... If you bought a bloke out dressed as cheese...
And the fact
You've
they
gotta
beat him up at the
use
end as well.
Oh, well, yeah, so afterwards, Al apologises after the bell, and Head Cheese turn heel?
I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't know. On the
I
heel
don't think they did, actually, though, did they? I
No,
don't know
I
whether
think
they
they're
thought
still
that was going to like pop the crowd as a ha ha ha, but the crowd
booed.
quite rightly.
Oh, yeah,
just attacked a little.
I like
He's
cheese.
a little cheese. The only good bit of the match was when he put him in the ring. And he
Yeah, he had to
he had to pick
pick
incredibly
him up like a kid.
That's like my only point where I thought.
And the fact that kept like running in the middle, and the ref just didn't give a shit.
Oh, yeah,
But they
no one knew.
fighting.
No one knew it was
Oh,
legal.
This is the Trish match, and there was no Trish.
Yeah.
So it's just a terrible
We
match.
got some tits.
Yep.
Don't show us.
Absolutely.
That's basically
Terrible.
the only problem is there was 4 tits and that was in the match.
No, Albert was alright.
Speaking of tits, Mae Young is in the back.
Oh
and
God!
Kat,
Here comes Lawler.
Kat is naked. This is your wife. Bloody hell, Jerry.
You've seen it all anyway. Jerry.
So we get comedy spots as they tease showing Kat's nakedness. We do. I don't even know how better to put this, but basically there is a jumper with a pussycat on it in front of her nether regions, which she rubs.
Nay.
And we get 2 bottles. I mean, because obviously you hand people bottles of water
Here
like
you
that.
go. I don't do it like that.
I'll put them on your nips. And Lola goes absolutely
And I like this.
mental.
The one that obviously not good on about that. When Kat says, "Oh, that's my phone. Can you answer it?" Mae Young answers. He goes, "Hello, it's for you." It's gonna be there, you mobile.
I told you to answer it. That's your biggest takeaway.
It's a very good point. You should have gone, hello, no for you. It's for Lola.
I love that. All like the 18 to 34, I'm loving it. It's like, oh, look, naked woman, sounds good. What's this? It's bloody phone! It's obviously for you.
I find an hole in this. Bloody Mae Young.
Terrible.
No wonder this is the worst Mania ever.
I don't know.
Tonight, you put the
tag titles on...
Yeah, you're right, Michael. Tonight, it's the night. But you know something? It seems like the WWF is always trying to put the Dudley Boys down. Putting us in a ladder match? Yeah, I don't like ladders, and I'm a little afraid of heights. But I'm going to forget all about that, because tonight at WrestleMania, the Dudley Boys will still remain the WWF Tag Team Champions. Testify, Bubba. Tonight, the Dudley Boys take WrestleMania to a whole new level. Tonight, the Dudley Boys take the ladder match to a whole new level of violence. When the dust settles, and when the Dudley Boys are heading out with those tag straps around their waist, it'll be then that the Hardys and Edge and Christian realize that thou shalt not with the Dudleys.
Oh, well, we'll get to it. Dudley Boys cut a promo, and Bubba is still doing his country boy gimmick. Does stop himself swearing. I don't know whether it was the stutter or whether he was just stopping himself swearing.
I don't know. They get that.
I don't like this promo.
It wasn't. It was just a shouty LOD kind of
I think
style
they were
promo.
still trying to figure themselves out in the Fed, because they haven't been there too long.
You can tell they're over, though. You can tell they're massively over.
Yeah.
So out first are, I think, they're face at this point, Edge and Christian. Are they still sort of face?
They'd left Gangrel, haven't they, at this point?
Yeah, Gangrel weren't in this match.
Poor Gangrel. Where's Gangrel?
Fink calls them Christian and Edge, which is the wrong thing to call them.
I think that was always the way that was announced, though, wasn't it?
Well, it's wrong. It's
Well, no, it's
definitely
wrong,
Edge and
but-
Christian. We get a snapshot of the Hardys attacking Edge and Christian on
Which,
Heat.
was it... JR got the things wrong, saying the Hardys was doing a promo.
Yeah,
Edge and Christian come out, and then you cut to it.
We got
and
that
I
a
thought,
lot.
is this another promo?
We got that a lot in the match, though, where he was calling Matt Jeff
Oh,
or
he did
Christian
that a lot,
and Edge. Or Hardys are out next, who do feel very over with the crowd, but not quite as over as the heel team of the group, which is the Dudley Boys, who probably get the biggest pop of the night so far. The shot of the Dudley Boys on the ladder as well.
Yeah,
is
that's the one
iconic.
they've used a lot.
Yeah. So this is the triple threat ladder match for the
Triangle
WWF
ladder.
Tag Team Champions. The brawls outside, and Lawler says that this is like the hardcore battle royal, and I hope it isn't. There's a corkscrew.
Of course, if Viscera going up that ladder.
There's a corkscrew by Jeff onto Bubba, but Bubba hits a Bubba bomb. Christian and Matt tease going for the title, and Poetry in motion onto the ladder and onto Bubba. Edge and Christian try this on Devon, but Devon just throws the ladder into Christian instead.
Yeah.
Matt hits an elbow onto Devon on the ladder, and then there's a 450 splash, but he crashes and burns, he being Jeff Hardy. A sit-out swanton by Bubba, but he doesn't quite connect. He overshoots it, and sort of the back of his head hits the ladder. Edge does well. Edge
does well.
Yeah, he does well. That's it. That's my takeaway. Edge does a fall away ladder splash on Matt, and the pace of the match, I mean, it's completely relentless. They just do not stop. There's a leg drop on the ladder onto Edge by Devon. Bubba then aeroplane spins the ladders onto the other team, but eats a double drop kick by Edge and Christian. There's a double flapjack onto the ladder, which is set up in the corner on Devon by Edge and Christian. Christian then hits a cross body from the top onto the floor onto Bubba and Matt. The crowd are absolutely apoplectic as Edge hits a spear from the top of the rope through Jeff, who's on the ladder, which obviously he will perfect at Mania next year. There's a lovely crucifix powerbomb on Matt by Edge. No, by Matt on Edge, sorry.
Was this after when Jeff did the thing where he run off the guardrail? And...
building up to that, yeah. So Bubba and Christian climb up, and Bubba hits a cutter off the top of the ladder, which also gets a massive pop. There's a tandem splash and leg drop spot by the Hardys on Bubba. And then a double suplex now from on the top on Devon. Lawler forgets who his pick is for this. It's like the Royal Rumble. Edge and Christian and the Hardys both take each other out off the top of the ladder. Crowd appreciate everything that they're doing, but we do get a "We want tables" chant. The 6 men are now all on the top of the ladder, and that bump where Devon pushes Christian and
Christian.
Is it Jeff?
Yeah.
I thought it was Matt. Yeah, Christian and Jeff, and there's no one there, and they've got to fall from the top of the ladder over the ropes.
Christian just completely
Goes
goes straight
over. It was an unbelievable spot.
Christ.
And then Bubba stumbles into the ladder, and that puts Matt and Edge balls first on the top rope. The Dudleys are left, and they sandwich Christian with the ladder and a 3D on Edge. So it's the Dudleys all to lose now, but instead of going to the top, they go and get some tables.
Oh, yeah.
They place the tables on top of the ladder as a platform. Hardyz are in to stop them, though. And then the tables are set up outside. Devon misses a headbutt and goes through a table, but Bubba has more joy outside, powerbombing Matt through the table. Jeff then eats a ladder from a diving rail spot when he runs down the railing.
That looked like the nastiest spot
It was. He really caught it on his face. The giant ladder is then brought into play and set up in the aisleway. Christian hits Bubba with the ring bell, and conveniently he lays on the top of the table. Convenient. Jeff Hardy goes to the top though and hits a swanton. This is often used in video packages and stuff like that.
Down that road.
Matt then hits. Matt then hits a twist of fate on Devon, and him and Christian climb to the top of the ladders and on the platform. But on the platform, Edge has sneaked up behind him, trips him over, and I mean, he really does flip.
Just a proper rotation.
Complete flip through a table, and on the top platform, Edge and Christian capture the tag team championship.
Was this the first time they won the titles?
Probably,
Yeah.
I think it probably was, yeah. So, because I think when they were fighting for Terry to be their manager or whatever, that was that for the titles, or was,
no, it
were
was
they
just
not
for Terry.
Yeah, he was champs, right?
I think so, all the New Age Outlaws.
Sam, I'll throw to you first on the match.
So far, match of the night.
So I think that's
Says it all.
Yeah, don't say it all. I mean, it's going to be awful.
But it was. You could tell they wanted to go out and make a statement, and
they did.
It put all these three on the map, ain't really?
Yeah, completely.
Nasty spots.
Well, I put it was a complete spot fest, but exactly what the pay-per-view needed.
Yeah.
Probably had needed 20 minutes earlier as well.
Yeah.
But it completely what it needed. The only thing that's difficult in isolating it is because you know where it goes. It feels like the little brother of the TLC matches that are going to come. So even though the spots are brilliant,
and then WrestleMania.
Yeah. I mean, if you'd have just watched this and got all wrestling out of your mind, except for this,
Up
until this point,
it would have felt amazing. I mean, the spots that they do on this, you've never seen on ladder matches before. Jack?
Yeah, I think it's a really, really, really good match. Obviously, one of the best of Mania history. It is the coming out party for Edge and Christian and the Hardys and the Dudleys, really, in putting themselves on the map as credible superstars for the WWF at the time. But yeah, I think it's a really underrated ladder match because, like you said, I think it's always compared to the two TLCs and everything like that, and it's sort of forgotten a little bit, this one, even though it was the one that started it all, really.
And I'm right in saying that this is all six men's debut at Mania, even though Edge and Christian was on the roster at 15.
Yeah, that was.
I'm sure they announced that this is their debut on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There was a lot of people who was making the debut.
Yeah. I mean, you
better
can't.
than teaming with Bossman against
Godfather and D'Lo. I put Bull up there as 7th best on the card so far. To be honest.
Well, it's better than being in the hardcore.
So far that actually feels like it should be on Mania.
Yeah. It felt like a Mania match.
Yeah,
definitely. Edge and Christian, or Christian and Edge, if you Finkel, head off through the crowd. And then we go to plain old Mick Foley, who's with Linda McMahon.
Those six men may never be the same after the Triangle Ladder match, and I wonder how many lives will be changed, and certainly changed forever after the fatal four-way elimination match. Mick Foley in what could be his final contest here in the World Wrestling Federation, along with Linda McMahon, the woman responsible for bringing Mick into tonight's main event.
Mick, all I can say is I'm very happy that tonight, finally, you're going to have the opportunity to fulfill a lifelong dream. WrestleMania, the main event, go for it.
Kevin Kelly's very obvious looking at the Triangle Ladder match, and nobody's letting anything
Nobody's holding anything back tonight. It is the biggest show in this year. This is the biggest year in the WWF's history, which makes it the biggest match in the history of the WWF, certainly the biggest match in my career. And thanks to Linda McMahon, Mick Foley gets a second chance to make a last impression. I want people talking about this match for the next 10 years. So I do believe that at WrestleMania, it's like a fairy tale for me, Kevin Kelly, and Triple H, Rock, Big Show. Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you, but it won't, because tonight, in what could be the final match of my career, fairy tales will come true for me. Bye-bye.
And getting interviewed in the back by Kevin Kelly. Linda says Mick should go for it. Cheers, Linda. I'm glad you're in my corner. Mick then really does a good job putting over the match, saying that his fairy tale's going to come true tonight. And Lawler's eyes are about to bulge out of his head as we go to the rules for the cat fight. Where the winner is whoever throws the other to the outside. And what better way to crown a cat fight than to have a special guest referee? It's Val Venis. Val Venis.
Awful shirt. Oh, that's awful shirt. Fuck, who's buying that?
And his ref towel.
Down the front, just say cocked.
It's
such a 2000
ready to
shirt.
go. To be honest, even when he come out, I thought your gimmick's outdated even at this point.
No.
Even in 2000, you kind of think the porn star stick is just out of date now, mate.
Oh, Val. You gotta like Val, though, yeah. I mean, he's mad. You can't like him now because he's
not
mad.
Not now, he's a twat, but
You gotta like Val.
He does say, hello, ladies, obviously.
He
does say
hello, people.
that him and WrestleMania 2000 have a lot in common, and I've put they're both shit.
You know something, ladies? The Big Valboski and WrestleMania have a lot in common. You know, we're both the single largest extravaganza of all time. We'll both get your blood pumping. The only difference is, while WrestleMania only comes once a year.
I know what's coming now.
The Big Valboski comes every single night.
they're both overrated.
No, but he does say something about being big and getting the blood pumping. But he does say the difference is he comes a lot.
Yeah.
Every single night.
To be honest, even Lawless, I don't know where this is going. Yeah, you're kind of getting stale there.
Single night.
Alright,
Val.
Moolah.
Get some cream for that.
Moolah is out with a bending over Terry. And Terry will have Moolah in her corner for the match. What a way to put over your women's roster. Out next is the Cat, who in her corner will be Mae Young. Jerry Lawler is about fit to burst as the ladies try and play up to Val. That's my notes, look at that. I love a match like this. Right. Terry takes down the Cat. Val breaks them up. Terry gives Val a kiss. Cat gives Val a kiss. There's a hair pull and a toss, and it's not Bull Nakano, Alundra Blaze quality. No. Let me put it like that. There's a spear from Cat, and Mae Young, who is Cat's manager, distracts Val Venis by threatening to take her top off. Is Mae Young going to turn heel? No. Moolah and May get at it. May now kisses Val, and Val again misses Terry getting thrown to the outside because of a distraction by May. Moolah drags Cat out, and Terry rolls in and wins.
Yeah.
Whew. I mean, I'll put here, this is my note. Even for 2000's women division, this is awful.
It is shit. And this is the only one-on-one match. It's shit.
It's awful.
It's I was going to say who was women's champ. Who's in the main event?
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask that. Just who is the champion at this point?
Well,
'Cause I
don't
thought
forget-
it was Jacqueline. But
I
she
thought it
beat
was
Jacqueline now.
Yeah, but don't forget, right at the end, when Rock's cleaned house, Stephanie gets in and stunners him, and then goes off with the confetti over the title.
Yeah.
It's
Women.
It's just terrible, eh?
Jack, want to add any light to the darkness that we're feeling? Hello,
Well,
Michael?
I mean, it's the
The
tits and
TNA
ass
match.
tits and ass match,
It's the TNA match.
and they didn't even really give you that.
yeah,
It was more the Mae Young
Moolah.
and Moolah match.
Yeah.
And then, they try and salvage it by trying to strip Terry at the end, but even that was a bit tame. So it was just, even Val comes off a bit weird here.
This goes on to
Poor
SummerSlam,
Val,
though,
he couldn't
doesn't
get
it?
a match.
Doesn't this
Rodney
go
got
on?
a match.
This
Rodney
goes on
got
to
a match.
SummerSlam, though,
Oh, this
doesn't
goes
it?
on forever.
And
Yeah,
Al
it
Snow
does.
gets dragged into it by then.
What?
Oh, Al's,
Him and
Al's
Saturday.
replaced Val at this.
Al Val.
But they just they
the
started
V off.
rubbing Val's name out and got to the V got took off and
Matt
went,
went, wait a minute.
wait a minute,
I like it,
we've got an Al.
Oh, God.
Snow, come here.
Terrible. Mae Young Bronco Busters Moolah after the bell, and Terry
Von Erich.
Cat shows Terry's ass.
Right.
In the back, light heavyweight champion Dean Malenko tells Perry Saturn and Eddie it's about time they finish off Too Cool, and Eddie, who is trying to impress Chyna at the time, isn't interested and he's looking at his reflection. Yes. Chyna is watching on the monitor and is disgusted, but Too Cool, I mean, I don't know what Too Cool are, but they just make me laugh.
Eddie did make me laugh a little bit. You could tell Eddie was good.
Eddie was good.
You forget how over and high up the card Too Cool.
Too Cool.
They
were really
were
over at one
really
point.
bloody over at this point.
They deserved a bigger spot at this Mania. Don't forget, for every Raw from 2000
It was
January
always
to
on
the, it was them in the main
And
event
DX.
versus DX or the Radicals or
Yeah, even
was
if
so
they lost,
over.
let's dance.
They were the top face team, weren't
yeah,
they?
without a
Well,
shadow.
they appear again later on, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
So the Radicals are out first to their cool theme music, and then Shooty Gun China is out.
What is that gimmick?
I don't know. Shoot
What
a
is
gun.
it?
Shoot a gun.
Is she
I'm
lost
going
at
to
sea?
shoot the gun.
I don't know. It's terrible, isn't it?
She's all at sea, I think.
And she's followed out by Too Cool, who are very much over. There is no way in this day and age that you join 3 internet darlings and no one gives a shit.
That's true. We like the dancing people.
We like the dancing people and the woman.
Yeah. Eddie gives Chyna a wink in the corner. I think this is on his time.
think
John's
John
been
might
out
be,
for a
yeah.
long time, innit?
Yeah.
And we're off and racing. So Eddie and Scotty start out. Scotty hits a nice backbreaker and Chyna is in. But Eddie wants no part of it and tags in Dean.
Don't we
Poor
try and
Dean.
do the thing where he hugs him?
Come here, Dean.
No, that's
They hug him
later on.
and tried to do
Oh,
that,
Dean,
and then he
yeah,
goes out and Dean's going, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. There's a sloppy clothesline spot straight away by
Poor
Chyna.
Dean.
And she gets out straight away. I think the ref went, "That's you're done. Go on, get out." Grandmaster Sexay is in.
I thought that was just going to be it.
Silence.
Grandmaster Sexy and Chyna hit a double suplex, and they have a little dance. There's a high-angled belly-to-back suplex on Eddie, and then Perry pushes Sexy off the top. The heels then isolate the faces and double-team Sexy in the corner. I keep calling him Sexy from now on, as you will have noticed. Perry Saturn steals Grandmaster Sexy's do-rag.
That was brilliant, that one.
I'd have given him a push. I'd have given him a push just because of that. Scotty then tags in and he's guillotined
Same mental
onto...
setting yet, is he?
No, guillotined onto the top rope by Eddie. Eddie tries to impress Chyna, but then takes her out. Grandmaster Sexy then suplexes Eddie to the floor. Everyone is now in, and Scotty hits a worm on both Dean and Perry. Eddie hugs Jack Doan's arse. So Scotty can be double teamed. There's a nice straight kick by Saturn. And an elbow, but he does overshoot it.
Huge. How high he gets. He nearly touches the roof. And then he gets so far away.
There's a top rope suplex by Scotty, and Chyna gets the hot tag. There's a double clothesline by Chyna, and she takes out both Perry and Dean with handspring elbows, which is just terrible. There's double low blows. Eddie and Chyna are left in the ring. Chyna counters a powerbomb to hit one of her own.
Oh,
Barely
I mean,
hit
Eddie
one.
powerbombs himself.
Yeah, he does.
To be honest.
China's trousers have split at the seams as she grabs Eddie by the balls. She hits a press slam on him and a sleeper hold, which is the worst of all the moves that she's done.
Yeah, it is a bit weird that she wins with the sleeper slam.
The sleeper slam wins the match for China. But, needless to say, we've got to look at it through 2000's eyes and not who our favourite wrestlers are, because it does pop the crowd.
Yes.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
It's the first face that's won.
Eddie Christian.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know what that was at that point. I don't know. I'm confused with the tag division at that point.
You could argue that this is the first clean face win. Jack, I'll throw to you first.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. I thought all the heel team could work, which was important. I thought Too Cool was very over. Scotty's probably the best worker of the three. Grandmaster's over with his spots.
Scotty's the best.
Scotty's
of them three.
Really good work.
China's terrible.
China a very good worker, but she's the most over. She's, you know, she's a woman who's big and strong.
She frightened me with Eddie.
The power bomb scared the living shit out of me.
Even the slam, she nearly dropped him on his head.
But that's a testament to how good he is. He's putting the right people in with her.
Yeah.
Can't put somebody in who can't work.
Yeah.
I mean, Malenko, Saturn and Eddie.
Yeah, you
can have a good match.
It doesn't feel like a Mania match. It doesn't.
No, it feels like not a Raw. I wouldn't say a Raw. I'd say
Smackdown.
a Backlash.
A B
pay-per-view.
Which
Smackdown.
could be said about the whole card. But
I think that's the problem with the booking. But I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought it was a story-driven comedy match. Maybe the wrong people were involved in terms of you knew you could have got a better match out of the three, but then maybe they were the right people because they could drive that kind of match.
Yeah.
This would have been a lot worse if Gangrel had to sell it.
Where's Gangrel getting in on here? Gangrel's been in a lot of this pay-per-view.
Yeah, he's been on it.
Sam.
Needs
more Gangrel.
It was a good match. It was a nice palate cleanser. But I thought it went a little bit too long. Just a little bit.
I get that.
But China was very clumsy.
I was confused at the end when they didn't tease the dance with China. But then I understand after why.
Yes. Like, was it on Raw that did that?
No, I mean later on in the show.
Oh, in the show. Oh,
they always do the
the Too Cool dance. I thought you meant when they with Eddie. When they finally went with him.
Well, they're going to be here. It's the night after Mania.
Oh, is it the night after?
Yeah, it was Eddie wins the European off Jericho.
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah.
What's the fucking point in this?
We'll get that. But we get a video.
Change my mind. Terrible match.
WrestleMania, baby.
We get a video now about a WrestleMania contest, which is won by the most middle Southern American family you'll ever see. Big Show and Shane cut a generic "We are going to win" promo, and then we get a video from Heat. We now find out that the reason Kurt Angle has to defend both belts in a 2 out of 3 falls match is because of Bob Backlund.
Yes.
Well, folks, earlier tonight, Kurt Angle found out that Bob Backlund was the one that had put the bug in the ear of the WWE officials.
I want you to be the best.
To become the... To make sure that Angle put both titles on the line, Backlund said it was tough love. So it's Bob Backlund's idea that Kurt Angle put both of his, not only his Intercontinental, but his European title on the line here tonight. And Angle used Backlund's own cross-face chicken wing to punish his, I guess, would-be mentor.
Mental Bob Backlund, we will be back for you. Without a shadow of a doubt. We will not leave you by the wayside. But yes, basically, we have the 2 out of 3 falls match coming up. Angle then gives Mental Bob a chicken wing for his troubles. And then, for some reason, in the weirdest little promo, absolutely unnecessary, because nothing comes of it, he talks to the guy from the Halifax advert and asks him to be his security.
But does he get an answer before he just cuts
he
to
doesn't
Jericho?
say no. Nothing happens.
He just looked at him and then went, Jericho.
Finkel explains that the first fall will be for the IC and the second for the European. That right way, do you reckon, for the match?
I thought it should have been the other way around, really.
I understand why they have it that way with who wins.
Because everybody's going to want to win the first fall whatever.
Well, because the face wins the last match.
That's true. I can see that.
Last fall.
Yeah, that's true.
I can see that. Yeah.
Jericho is out first to a huge pop. Jericho welcomes us to WrestleMania is Jericho, and then he gets all his catchphrases in.
Welcome to WrestleMania is Jericho! And Y2J has been waiting his whole life for this moment. And I know that all you Jerichoholics have been waiting your whole lives for this moment. And I can't guarantee you I'm going to walk out of here with 2 championships. And I can't guarantee you I'm going to walk out of this match with 1 championship. But I can guarantee you that I am going to walk out of this match the true Ayatollah of rock and roller. Yeah. And I can guarantee that Kirk Angel and Mr. Roboto are going to walk out of this match with bumps and bruises and a t-shirt that reads, I visited Anaheim and all I got was this lousy t-shirt and a Y2J beating that I will never, ever forget again!
And calls his opponents Mr. Roboto and Kurt Angel. Ben, is it Cake? Kirk Angel.
Cake Angel.
Cake Angel. Benoit is out next. He doesn't give a fuck though, and he looks like a boss. I wonder what happened to him. Angle gets a pop as well. I mean, he's over with the crowd.
He's
over the crowd.
He's a good dorky.
Fink sounds really dumped.
He's dumped at that point because he's still talking and he's getting out the rink.
He's really, why did they dub it then?
Something must have happened.
Did he say World WWF Intercontinental or something?
I don't know that. I think that he must have just balls someone up, and you know what they're feeling like.
Yeah.
We never made a mistake.
Yeah.
Even though
he sounds underwater.
And you've watched 5 matches. Benoit jumps Kurt Angle, and we are off and running. Rough start for Angle, who is bumped and clotheslined and back elbowed. Nice spot sees Benoit clothesline into the ring post. And then Benoit stops Jericho's springboard dropkick spot, but only for him to do it again and hit both Benoit and Angle. There's a flapjack onto the steel steps on Jericho by Angle. Double underhook backbreaker on Angle by Jericho. It's getting very confusing. There's a lot of men in a lot of matches here. But he crashes and burns from the top onto the announced team table. I need a break. After a Benoit charge. There's a very, very near fall from a backdrop by Benoit on Angle, and a faceplant by Jericho on Angle gets a 2. Chinlock on Benoit by Angle is broken up, and then a nice belly-to-belly. But even though Jericho's legs are under the ropes, the refs still count. Obviously, Tim White's not having a very good night at this point. There's a nice spot as Benoit counters a roll-up by Angle, but breaks it up with a dropkick. Angle then locks in the crossface chicken wing, but Benoit breaks that up on the second hand drop. Angle then is tossed over the guardrail, and in the ring there's a diving headbutt on Jericho by Benoit, and a 3 count, and your new Intercontinental Champion is Chris Benoit. Angle though manages to break up an immediate pinfall attempt by Benoit. Good psychology, fucking waiting around and celebrating. I'm going for the second win. There's a nice spot where it sees Benoit back suplex Jericho off the top rope and then roll out the way of a moonsault attempt by Angle. Tim White now counts
all 3.
Because
even Jim Ross is confused.
Yeah, no one knows what would happen.
I think if everyone's counted out, that means he's still the European. I'm not sure if that's the rule, but I think that might be it.
Benoit breaks up the walls of Jericho. There's a beautiful spinning heel kick by Jericho and the double power bomb, which he does power up. He really does power up. Angle weren't helping him. I really wasn't. German suplex by Benoit on Jericho gets a 2. Tim White is having a terrible night again, and it counts even though Angle's shoulders are well up on the German suplex. Tim White, though, even worse, gets laid out with his terrible night. And Benoit gets a visual tap out on Jericho, but Jericho does get the visual tap out on Benoit as well with the walls. Angle clocks Jericho with the title, but only gets a 2. Benoit misses the headbutt, and Jericho hits the Lion Salt and steals the pinfall and the European title. And Kurt Angle has lost both his belts without losing a fall in the match. I'll go first and tell you that I thought that was amazing match. Love the storyline. Not really seen it before or after or anything since then. Just a fantastic and triple threat where 3 men stay in the ring and all 3 fight each other. It's really nice to see that kind of thing, to be perfectly honest, but they are. At each point, these 3 have probably been the best in the world at some point in history. Jericho, Angle and Benoit. They were just brilliant here.
Yeah.
So
I agree, but it's a really good match.
I agree. I get it.
It's a really good match. He protected Angle, even though he lost.
Yeah, definitely.
Both his belts, but you can tell them going to push him. You can kind of already tell, even though Jericho's won the European, that's the feud for the Inter now, Benoit and Jericho. So they've planted the seeds for the stories here in the rest of the year.
Yeah. Actually did some good work. Jack, you want to agree?
Well,
oh, garbage of it.
I thought it was a good match. I don't think it was as good as I remembered it, though. I always thought it was better than this.
I thought it was really
I
good.
thought it was a very good match. I always thought it was better than this. I think Benoit's probably at his peak of his career in this era, I think, his 2000-2001 run. I don't think he was any better than he was here. Angle's obviously still learning a couple of things, but he's getting better, and Jericho's sort of in his weird, don't know where he is at this point.
Yeah, because he hadn't long come in.
But I do think it was a good match, especially with what we've seen. The best wrestling match of the card so far. We'll wait to see if it is for the rest of the card, but it probably is. But I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a good match. I thought there was bits where it felt a little flat and a little rushed. But I do think they did it right with heel winning the first fall for the Inter, face winning the second fall for the European. So you end the match with a face winning a belt, and you protect Kurt by not having him lose. So
I just thought the storyline
so many
brilliant.
Stories coming out of it.
Yeah, so I mean, it just gives you everything.
Yeah.
But not only that, you can have this match on a WrestleMania card and still drive what's going to happen for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like one of those B pay-per-view matches where pay-per-view match just
the
exists
year after.
to promote
2 of these
Raw.
people fight each other again, don't they?
Yeah, I think.
And they have a story going after that.
Yeah. I just think it's ridiculously good.
It is.
I really do. Vince McMahon is interviewed with his leg up on a chair, and he's asked whether he will be a factor, and he says he will be a factor, but he's going to make it right. Triple H gets his second spot and says he's going to win tonight because he's that damn good. And the King of Rock Fools has Run DMC.
I'm surprised they come out.
I love that theme. I really do. I do love that theme. I don't know why.
But yes, they're out to...
it is very 2000.
Yeah, to play out Road Dogg and X-Pac, who are out with Tori. I'm not sure about Tori. The Road Dogg takes the mic. Road Dogg takes the mic and we get his usual shtick. And Rikishi Fatu is probably the most over babyface on the roster at this point. He's out, followed by Kane.
Did you hear what JR said about Rikishi?
The man with the world's most challenging cheeks.
He's challenging cheeks.
What challenging?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. Kane is
he
out.
said something else after, but I was too busy laughing. I couldn't remember it.
Kane is out.
Challenging cheeks.
Kane is out with a much more svelte Paul Bearer in a red suit. He looks like he's lost a bit of weight, doesn't he?
Yes,
at this point. Tori slaps Paul Bearer, who no sells it. Pulls her face. Pulls her face and then chases her. I mean, Paul Bearer's faces are fucking brilliant. There's
brilliant.
No one pulls a better face in WWE than Paul Bearer.
No, that face was better than the whole of the tag TNA versus Head Cheese
and
match,
all the hardcore as well.
Well, I don't know. I did.
And Ice-T.
Kane and Rikishi versus DX then. X-Pac and Road Dogg attack Rikishi to start, and then X-Pac saves Tori from Kane. Inside, Road Dogg gets his stink face straight out. Get that out of the way. Done. Tori is now set up for it, but DX save her. DX are already gone. Nope, none of that. But Kane and Rikishi stop them from walking out on the match. There's nice heel kicks by Pac, who gets his X-Pac heat despite hitting a nice Bronco Buster and so far doing everything fine on Keith.
Poor X-Pac.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Xbox sucks?
Yeah,
already.
sucks.
Road Dogg has about a minute's worth of offense on this, so he does his offense. It's his punches and his shaky leg, and that's all you're getting. Power kick out from Rikishi. Rikishi then sells X-Pac's kicks and hits a push up RKO. Look quite good. Doesn't roll. Don't know why he does a barrel roll tag. No need for that. But he does a barrel roll. He does just the barrel roll tag.
I thought he more like, people was blocking him or anything.
You could have literally just leaned over and tagged him.
Take my foot.
He tags in Kane. Kane takes out Road Dogg, and Tori saves X-Pac from a stink face this time. Paul throws Tori into the ring, so she does get a stink face. X-Pac gets a tombstone, and that is all she wrote in about.
And Kane got his retribution in a tag match against Road Dogg with Rikishi.
We'll talk about We'll talk about the after bell bits and bobs shortly, but before we get there, thoughts on the match, Sam?
It was the wrong match and it was rushed. But Paul Bearer's face made it.
Did it? Don't forget, we put it. Do you concede, without seeing the main event, do you concede that we probably got it wrong in the Wrestle Cup in terms of the
because it should have been the TNA. Well, we couldn't have the women's match because that was the Raw, or it would have the women's match. So that should have been it. It was the wrong tag match.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tag matches on this player.
Jack, make the defence for this.
Actually, was Teddy Long the ref for the TNA match?
I think he was.
Oh dear. He booked this.
He probably booked the whole card. Why is Rikishi with Kane? Is that ever explained on a Raw? Well, he did have a little mini feud with DX around the start of the year, so I understand maybe Too Cool and DX were pretty much doing all the feuding.
I mean, I feel sorry for X-Pac a lot of the time, because I think around this point he was as good as most people in the mid-card to upper mid-card as a worker, as getting heat.
Yeah,
I think he's much better than Road Dogg.
Oh, yeah.
The problem with X-Pac is he got very complacent and never bloody changed.
No,
that was his
even
problem.
his gimmick.
I think he was good.
He still had the DX stuff in 2001 day before Just Incredible and Albert appeared.
Yeah, that's
his problem with him.
As soon as he changed
to
from
be honest,
kid
even
to,
when DX come out, I even thought I was tired of him then.
I think the DX thing's played out. It needs to change, and I think this should have been the nail in the coffin for him. But I think Kane. I think you look at Kane, and he's a bit like, well, this is a bit bland,
weird where Kane is.
Kane's
arc has gone to the point where he's now gone from being the monster to the
face,
to
speaking, to his thing with X-Pac, which was good.
They've really
his
gone
thing with
through.
Tori, and then
they've done what they did with Taker. In that length of time, they've done with Kane in that length of time, like tiny. So it's.
I think it as a tag match, it's pretty forgettable.
They've got a lot of.
It's fine though, isn't it? It would have been better as an opener if you're going to blow off this sort of shit as an opener.
This show you can see, and I thought this. It's still in the Attitude Era. But you can tell it's getting stale at this point with the gimmicks.
Yeah.
DX, Kane to an extent, Val Venis, Godfather.
Ice-T.
Poor D'Lo.
D'Lo.
With everyone doing
everything. Even at this point, because I think, again, go back to the Bruce Pritchard one. He said in '99 that's when they was starting to tone it down. And even at this point, you can kind of tell there was toning the women's stuff down and what have you. Right?
I don't think you can on this.
But I think you can see by
the next Armageddon. They showed, it's Armageddon. They showed her breasts. That's the end of the year.
In 99.
Yeah.
Oh, the cat.
Yeah, and at Royal Rumble 2000, Mae Young showed a tit.
Yeah, well.
So I take issue with Mr. Pritchard there, but I take issue with a lot of things Mr. Pritchard says.
Yeah.
But I do take your point, and you can tell they know they've got a roster now. Yeah, they know they've got a roster now of undercard people who can perform over the old sort of 98 undercard people who needed the gimmicks. Yeah. So you can see that with the tag division, and you can see that with the triple threat.
With the Radicals coming,
and the Radicals.
That's where it all changed.
And to be fair, I would argue that these four are ones that can stay around, but I do agree with you. Road Dogg and X-Pac, if they're going to survive in WWE up to WrestleMania 17, who knows? Do they? We'll see it at some point.
We won't see 17.
Yeah,
well, one of them's on Heat, and the other one's gone.
Exactly.
And he went to get a job with WCW the day that Vince bought it.
And that... And don't forget, that's them.
He even says that. He said he went up to WCW to get a job, and he pulled up, and there was WF trucks there. And he went, because he got fired.
But that's the point, isn't it? They didn't change their gimmicks really. Even Road Dogg, when he went with K-Quick, didn't change his gimmick.
Yeah, he was just.
So he was still doing his gimmick, and even though they were really stale, the sub-main event for this pay-per-view, maybe the placement shines the bit. But I mean, a big match with two big players, and then on the next Mania they're not there anymore. And Kishi and Kishi's injured, isn't he? But Kane's on the card.
On the card, he's in the hardcore,
which is a much better hardcore match than it.
Yes, it is. Even though it nearly killed Mania.
But at the very least, they're still going to be credible faces for.
I see what you mean, but they do need to evolve. They're the ones that can evolve.
Yeah. Yeah, they've still got evolutions afterwards.
Well, Rikishi turns
X-Pac is Charizard.
You just need a few stones to get up.
We need to find that credible stone.
So after the bell, Too Cool are out. The crowd, oh shit, they love Too Cool. I mean, everyone is bloody
I was
clapping.
really hoping they put them glasses on Kane.
Oh, I thought
Paul Bearer.
Bearer did. I thought it would be Kane, and I thought, that's it! They've killed it!
They did that with Santino. The San Diego Chicken is out from last year, who was Pete Rose. Last year. Commentary team suspect it's Pete Rose. Kishi is back in for a dance, and the chicken joins in the dance. Kane now sizes up the chicken and corners him, but Pete Rose is about to sucker him with a bat. But stupid Pete Rose does it right in front of Rikishi, so he grabs the bat, stops him, and Pete Rose is chokeslammed for a third time for his troubles. And then Paul Bearer does the suck it to Pete.
That gets a pop.
It does. And Pete is given the stink face, and Too Cool dance to Kane's music.
Yeah, I did like that bit.
Oh yeah, I like that.
After he did the pyro and they kept looking at it. And was it Grandmaster? Look, Kane just stared at him.
I love Too Cool. Amazing. But yeah, so that is the last time we'll see Pete Rose at WrestleMania in that sort of skit.
Yeah, until he goes in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, in WrestleMania 20.
Rock celebrity.
Yeah, Rock.
What have you done, Pete? Look what you started.
Rock gives us the final promo of the night. Typical Rock promo.
What was best then?
Well, he's best, but it's still better than most. Every other promo that's on
the best promo. Like he was looking down.
Yeah, it wasn't the best, but it was all right. Michael Clark Duncan is announced at
so fucking erratic throughout the show.
He was going to attack a few people. Bloody hell!
Was it?
Oh, Michael, calm down.
He's just gone out to the Green Mile.
No, it was Bubba
walking the Green Mile.
Yeah.
I went with
Bubba just stares at him, and I thought, who's he having to go at? And then I thought, well, he's him.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Oh, you're going on about the celebrity.
Yeah. Michael Clark Duncan is announced, and Marty Short, and behind Marty Short is Ron Atkinson's favourite person, Dustin Diamond or Screech. And then we get some Super Bowl guy as well. And Fink is now on the stick. And we
Stacey Coleycott.
No, he wasn't there.
Player.
He didn't make it.
He was probably there. He should
have attacked Kane.
No, that'd be Richard.
In an alternate universe, Stacey Coleycott's been chokeslammed 3 times at Mania.
Oh, God. He's a big player for the West Bromwich Albion.
No, he was at Blackpool with the Crabtree.
We get the big introduction for the main event, and I looked at the time at this point because I was watching it, and there was 49 minutes left of the show.
Oh, I did as well.
Foley is out with Zombie Linda. Big Show is out with Shane. It does look in good shape though, Big Show. Best shape he's probably ever been in WWF, you would say.
I did like the shirt though.
Oh, the big nasty bastard.
Because Lawler goes, what's that say? Big nasty bastard? He was not really like, should I say it?
It is strange, but probably right, that Rock is out third of the four. Because it is always right that the champ comes out last.
The champ should come out.
The champ is out. He's out to his old... It's cool. It's cool music though, isn't it? That? He ought to come out. I think he should come out once more with
Stephanie McMahon's theme.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
I think he should come out once more to his old school theme.
I was saying that he'll be picked up in 36. Yeah. He'll be out.
Well, I want royalty. He does.
I like how JR gets really annoyed that Steph bought the women's title with him.
Bring your women's title belt out here. Well, crowd of looking at pistol, wouldn't you think?
Why would she's
really
the champ?
Why'd you bought that belt with her?
She's the champ.
She's the champ, JR.
I thought when he said that, I thought, surely he'd now be the world belt. What he bought that for?
I thought Triple H. He looked like an absolutely amazing shape.
This was his best year.
The best he's looked up until now in his run. Anyway,
he's getting used to the main event now.
Yeah.
So Earl shows all four men the gold, and we are off and running. Pinfalls only, JR tells us. I didn't realise that. No.
Oh, there until he said it.
No submissions, just pinfalls.
Well, what the fuck? Why?
Vince.
I don't know. Maybe
it was.
I was trying to think of where the logic comes into Vince knowing he's going to screw Rock. But I mean, I can pick holes in a lot of that logic later on.
Yes.
And I probably will. Because Foley ties up with Triple H and Rock and Big Show tie up. Show now takes over and his power is on Show as he powers all three men around. Press slams on Rock, then on Triple H. Rock lays in his shots but gets a big side suplex by the Big Show. Foley then stops the choke slam and all three men team up on the Big Show. 3 clotheslines and stomps and different things on the Big Show. Cactus clothesline on Triple H. Foley then uses a chair on Triple H and Shane gets involved but is laid out by the Rock. The Big Show is hit in the back by the chair from Foley and a rock bottom later, and 4 minutes into a 40-minute main event, the Big Show is out of there. Do you get the impression Big Show shouldn't have won the Rumble and caused them a problem later on there?
Well, it was Rock that caused the problem, really.
Maybe,
but they had to make the story out of it.
Yeah, Big Show is eliminated, although I did think they did enough in the 4 minutes that he was there to make him look credible.
Too short.
It is too short. But then, maybe the longer... If he's got to sell, you wouldn't do the work of him being a giant.
The giant, get him out. I understand get him out first, but I think 4 minutes is a bit...
Yeah,
they do make him look really strong in that time.
Everyone was teaming up. That's the best bit that could happen for the Big Show. If they're going to do it in 4, they've all got to have team up and the shots to the
it's just the length it goes after, which causes...
well, yeah, we'll get to that. Vince waves them off, and Triple H tries to bargain with Foley and The Rock. Rock suckers him in, but then turns on Triple H and the Rock and Sock Connection team up. Bear in mind, it's elimination. I want to stress that. It is elimination. Why would this not pay into anyone's game plan? It is elimination. Here is where...
Imagine if it were, and that was it.
Well, that's what I put. Here is where the Vince screwing them logic goes out the window. Because what if they just teamed up together and beat him? That's it. Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Anyway, double teaming continues outside. The bell is thrown to Rock, who clocks Foley by accident. Foley then introduces a barbed wire 2x4 after selling the bell for about 10 seconds. There's a low blow and then a midriff shot, but Rock stops a worse one. There's a double arm DDT by Rock. By Foley, and then Socko is out. Rock then clocks Triple H with the gold. People elbow is set up, but instead of just letting him win, Foley puts Socko on the Rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next
Low
time.
blow by Triple H breaks it up.
Don't get that.
Chair slid in by Vince. The double arm DDT on Rock, and he's almost eliminated. Triple H then breaks up a pinfall. Why? Even JR has to cover for that, saying basically he wanted
He
to
wants
end.
to beat him himself.
Foley and Triple H now team up. Rock manages to kick out a few 2 counts. There's a knee first charge into the steps by Foley. He sells that for about 10 seconds and then picks up the steel steps and clocks Rock with him. Linda and Stephanie are getting into it. JR doesn't like that.
JR's outraged.
Yeah,
That's your mother!
I love JR. JR in this is overdrive JR. He's brilliant. Mick Foley.
Oh my god.
He is a million miles away on this
This
jump.
is the
He
best.
even
This
said
is the
so.
I've
moment.
heard him talk about this.
This is the moment when he must have known, I can't do this anymore. Because he had no strength in his legs to be able to dive off that rope. To
Jump like
Don't he
5
actually
yards.
break his hip? Not his hip, his rib or
Sternum,
something.
you know,
Yeah, he
yeah.
really injures himself.
Well, he would. I mean, he literally jumped off the top into the side of a table.
If I was Rock or Triple H, I would have just left.
Well-
I don't know whether
Well,
to laugh.
consider. I'm surprised Triple H does, because he tries to break the table twice.
Yeah, and then
Because
it
you can
just,
see after he's like, hey.
it just sort of collapses after a while. Anyway, Foley and Triple H are now inside. There's a pedigree for a 2, an amazing JR call. JR's really drumming up a kick out, Foley, brilliant. Then a headshot from the chair and a pedigree onto the chair, and that is all she wrote. And Mick Foley is eliminated. Foley gets a standing ovation from the crowd and he walks out, but Mick isn't finished. He goes and gets the barbed wire 2x4 and hits Triple H in the head with it, and now he's off. Rock is in, so he sold the table for that spot anyway, but he gets a 2. Final 2 now have a face-off, and Rock takes us up the aisle. There's a suplex on the aisle by Rock, and now they're fighting through the crowd. Rock goes to use the steel steps, but Triple H hits them back into him using a chair. There's multiple chair shots now by Triple H and a pile driver onto the steel steps. JR is going absolutely mad. You gotta stop the match! Rock kicks out at 2. The obvious reversal of the pedigree as he's far too close to the ropes happens and the back body drop is executed. Back into the crowd. We're going too long now. Too long.
Time. What's the point?
Don't know. Commentary team Scarpa as Rock suplexes Triple H through the announce table. I put here, how much more can they actually do? There's a drop toe hold onto the steps by Triple H. Vince now, he takes out Triple H, so Shane sneak attacks Vince. The TV monitor is hit into Vince's head, and Vince is out. But Vince then really no-sells it anyway. Gets up and lays out Shane with punches. There's a low blow and a chair shot. Michael Clark Duncan teases going at it with Shane as Vince is helped to the back with a trickle of blood down his head. Rock then corner punches and gets a DDT for a 2. There's a very weird looking tilt to world slam where he over tilts him, and a face buster by Triple H. The barbed wire 2x4 shot by Triple H on Rock, and Shane is in, but Triple H is catapulted into him. Rock hits the rock bottom, and Vince is back out to lay out Shane. The fans and everyone sees it come in as Vince picks up the chair, and I would say waffles, but I would say gently taps Rock's head with the chair. It's the weakest shot you've ever seen, so Rock obviously has to kick out, so Vince can do another proper chair shot to the head, which allows Triple H to end this mess of a pay-per-view. I'll get to the aftermath of that shortly, but before we get there, thoughts on that match, Jack?
It's far too long. 36 minutes, I think, overall. You know, the Big Show gets eliminated after 4. You know, you got 32 minutes of Rock, Triple H, and Mick Foley, who's retired already, and comes back, and he can't do anything. I mean, he's so
There's a reason he retired
gone.
a month before.
It's so long, and then there's so much shit going on with Vince and Shane and Stephanie. Why is Linda there? I have no idea.
She isn't, is she, for most of it?
She don't do anything. You know, the stuff... Triple H I think it's the workhorse of the match, but I think he's probably driving it because it's far too long. There's far too much stuff. You don't need to go into the crowd in a WrestleMania main event, let alone twice.
No.
You got 2 table breaking spots, which there should have been one earlier in the show. There's so much going on, and then the turn that makes no sense. And then I think Shane is going to go with them all at the end as well before
I think he
happens.
was,
before he got...
In fact, I think he
Which
does,
makes
because I think
even
this
less
starts
sense.
the Big Show Shane sort of
Yeah,
feud.
they fight at Backlash. I know, he fights Angle at Backlash.
Yeah, when he's dressed as Hogan.
Yeah.
This is, for some reason, Big Show turns face.
But it's so... What? I don't know what's going on. It's so much going on that I can't follow why anybody is turning heel. There's no real reason as to why Vince has turned on The Rock. Why was he with him in the first place?
But he says he's going to make it right. I think the idea is he felt bad about not liking his...
You've made nothing right.
The plan is very, 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 very convoluted, isn't it?
It's just...
I mean, it's just ridiculous. It can be summed up with one word: overbooked.
It's too
Far
really,
too
isn't it?
overbooked.
There's 2 words.
Well, I've got it as one.
Over hyphen booked.
It's... I mean, there's 2... It is like eating thousands and thousands of wine gums. I like a wine gum. But after you've had a couple of wine gums, you've had enough wine gums.
Yeah.
You can't keep doing everything. You can't go, all right then, and now we'll hit him in the head with a baseball bat. No, we'll hit him in the head with a barbed wire 2x4, but he'll kick out of that. But he won't kick out of Vince McMahon's chair shot to the head. It's like the Foley thing.
Yeah.
Foley will kick out of getting, hit on the top of the head with a burning 2x4 on the top of a cell. But he won't kick out of a pedigree. It's stupid. Everything is so overbooked, and it's okay as long as you get in there and you get out of there. It was just... it was awful. Stupid, stupid, stupid is the 3 words that I put. Just Sam?
It was overbooked and way too long, and it's the wrong match.
Yeah, far.
Which it shouldn't have been.
They booked themselves into a corner there, didn't they?
Yeah, it's all because of the Rumble. The mistake at the Rumble caused this.
Yeah.
Basically.
Both matches, because the mistake was putting Foley in a match with Triple H where that was amazing. So everyone wanted to see Foley win.
Yeah.
So yeah, after the match, Vince McMahon hugs Stephanie. Shane staggers in, and as you've said, Jack, teases joining them.
Yeah.
There's a Rock gets in to get his heat back, hitting a rock bottom on Shane, and Stephanie slaps him. So she eats a rock bottom to the biggest pop. There's a people's elbow and a Rock, and Rock, despite losing, gets his heat back. I suppose it really does sum this Mania up. That this just feels like tune in tomorrow, folks, to see what happens.
Yeah. That's what that era at the time was. I really worry.
Yeah.
And one final recap, and we are out. So I'll throw to you first, Jack, to tell me your overall thoughts of WrestleMania 2000.
Like a rating?
No, well, if you want to rate it, you can. Overall thoughts.
Are you going to rate it? I thought it was poor. I thought there was a couple of matches which were good. The ladder. I thought the triple threat. The 6-man wasn't that bad, or 5 men and 1 woman. But overall, I think it's a poor Mania. At a time when it was probably
most of the pay-per-views around then were quite good.
Probably at its highest as a company, as revenue and all that. But
profitable year, right? 2000.
That's what I mean. So it's their best year with arguably one of the worst Manias in history, I would say, from top to bottom of the card.
Obviously, well, I've put it's a terrible Mania and a passable standard pay-per-view. If it was if it was a Backlash, it's passable because of those couple of good matches. But as a Mania, it's terrible.
Even the set don't feel like a Mania.
No, I put that. It just doesn't feel like a Mania.
It feels like a fully loaded.
Yeah,
it does.
It's hard to just. It just doesn't feel like it. And obviously, the question is now we've done 2 reviews of WrestleManias. We might as well compare it against WrestleMania 8. So, Sam, I'll throw to you.
WrestleMania 8 just kept getting rebooked. This is what they wanted. Well, except the main event, I suppose. But this is
which is worse then? Which one are you giving it to?
Which one's worse?
That's a Mania 8 or Mania 16.
Mania 8. I'd say. This one was just like a special Raw.
I'm going to
that
go
they
with
had
Mania 16's worse than WrestleMania 8. I think WrestleMania 8's... the two matches on WrestleMania 8 would have arguably been the best matches on this card.
WrestleMania 8's better because Piper, Brett, and Savage Flair would absolutely mop the floor with anything on it.
Oh, they would.
Not the 8-man tag, though.
No, not the 8-man
but, you know,
or Owen Skinner.
No, or Owen Skinner. But I think, you know,
Piper got more time than the
Brett.
Kishi match.
You know, you think of the big WrestleMania matches and moments, and this is one that you never really think of. You think of 8.
Well, you think of the triangle
Savage
ladder,
and
that's
all
it,
that.
really.
Even that, I don't think you really think of it that much anymore.
Not
it's
anymore,
a Mania
but it's...
that really gets
At the time, I think it would have been a credible match, but I agree with you. The problem with this whole Mania is that you just know everyone that's in it is going to do something better.
Yes.
So it always feels like it. Whereas Mania 8, that's as good as Roddy Piper's ever going to be. So,
Brett did do something better after 97. So.
I'll throw around the table then. I'll start. Match of the night for me. Euro-Continental triple threat match. Sam?
Yeah, I would say that just above the ladder match.
Jack?
I'd go with the ladder.
The ladder match.
That's what I enjoyed.
So basically, the mid card of the tag title match is better than the world title match.
I am going to say I had the unenviable task of trying to do play-by-play. So the worst match of the night for me is the Hardcore Battle Royal because it's just impossible.
Just tested Albert, TNA v Black.
Surely.
Tested Albert v
Head
Cheese, or the women's match just because it was unnecessary.
Sam. Jack, sorry.
I'd say TNA versus Head Cheese because it's such an easy...
You expect more for it.
You write that match on the board and it's the easiest thing to write. There's Trish's name there. Well, that's what the match is about, then 8. And they're never used it. I just don't get that. I mean, it's absolutely awful anyway, but it's like you've not used that and you're trying to push her.
I think we ain't done this for a while. Maybe Vince went to Pat, get some cheese
to the shop.
To the shop. I need a cheese.
To the cheese
shop. A child cheese outfit.
MVP of the night, I am put. I will argue it till I'm blue in the face. I did consider Bull Buchanan, who did surprise me. I thought he was
a maniac. Bolts.
Calm yourself. Calm yourself, because I did decide to give it to Angle purely because of his character work and in-ring work on the night. But you could have made candidates for all 6 in the ladder match. I thought Benoit and Jericho as well.
Jim Ross.
And Jim Ross on the mic was good as well. So, Sam?
Overall, Jim Ross, I would say. But maybe just above Angle, considering this Angle's first Mania. He's only been there, 4 months? And he's already, way ahead of a lot of them.
He's definitely one of the best on that card. Jack?
I'd probably go JR. I think he keeps it flowing nicely. Yeah. Keeps me entertained through the points where it's very flat.
Him and Lawler arguing is funny.
That first hour, I mean, without him and Lawler, I think it would have been a lot longer.
I will say this though, watching it, because I thought it's going to be a long slog. It did get quick. It was an easy watch. It was just like watching Raw.
It went all the way up until one match.
Until the one match. Then it picked up again, and then the world title match, when it was Rock and Triple H, it went way too fucking long.
And low point, or I suppose what we should do here is obviously explain and give justification for why people had better got creative on this. So, realistically, the McMahon stuff is just terrible. It's an overbooked mess of a card. The hardcore match is terrible. There's too many throwaway tag matches.
You don't need everybody on the roster, on the show. I mean, if you wanted to put everybody on, where was Gangrel? Where was Mark Henry? There was a lot of... Imagine being one of them people that don't even get on this.
Sam, I'm sorry, I can't have the reason this is being reviewed is because there wasn't Mark Henry.
No, I'm not.
No,
yes. No, what I'm saying is, we're watching this because it is overbooked. There's too many people on this show.
Well, that's to me the bottom line, the low point, the reason it's being reviewed. The McMahon stuff aside, it's too overbooked. Sam?
Yeah.
Same?
Yeah.
Jack?
Oh yeah, it's the main event. I mean, what's going on there? Even when you looked at the poster, you'd think, well, what's going on there? There's 8 moving parts.
Well,
here,
if you'd have looked at the
this.
poster, you'd have said, well, Jericho's in the main
What's
event.
Jericho doing here?
What did Jericho
I'll
take
him
Rock
there
and
as
Triple
well,
H?
yeah. But it's just, yeah, the whole main event is completely farcical, really.
Completely.
Yeah.
But it is our unenviable task now to attempt to rebook WrestleMania 2000 and do it better. Can we do it better? I'm sure we can. My card, I've just done a card. I've got a bit of bits to the background.
Yeah,
I think the key thing.
I can explain.
Cool. So the key thing I've got the I would not have a hardcore match. I'd have hardcore spots. So the idea is the 24/7 rule ends tonight, but there's no matches. So Taz chokes out Crash early on, and then Taz chokes out everyone who tries to take the belt off him. So you just use that all the way through the night as Taz. Everyone who tries to attack Taz choked out. All the shitty mid-card, lower-card, hardcore people can't compete with Taz's choke out. And I don't care whether Hardcore Holly don't like that. And I'm not a shit.
You little shithead.
So my card would open up with the ladder match, because I think it's the high spot best. There's no better way of opening the show than that. And I would have the same victor, same outcome, same match. X-Pac versus Kane, next blood feud coming to an end. Kane has to go over, but it makes perfect sense to have a singles match between the two. I've put Tool, but I'll take the L off, and I'll put Too Cool and Rikishi versus the Radicals. I'd have China at ringside, and I'd have China cost Too Cool the match to play up to the editing. I wouldn't have a turn here, but I would have a cost it in the match by accident. And Eddie Guerrero getting the win, so the Radicals go over. Next match, Big Show versus Shane McMahon. Bump that feud up slightly so we can get Big Show away from the main event, because he's certainly not ready for it. And I would probably have Shane already turned and gone with the McMahon-Helmsley thing.
Already done half, my God.
Yeah, I don't know any of that.
But I would have Shane have sort of turned on Big Show early, and Big Show's the face. But I'd have Shane go over in the match, because there's legs in the feud if he goes over Big Show. Euro-Continental match next. I can't change that. I love it. It's a brilliant match, and same outcome. And sub-main event, because you now need a good sort of 15-minute calm down, and there's a lot of people I need to get on the card. I've got APA versus Headbangers versus TNA versus Head Cheese versus Kaientai versus Bossman and Bull versus D'Lo and Godfather in a tag team turmoil match for the number one contenders for the tag team titles. And I would definitely have Bossman and Bull win it, purely because I think if you really look at all of those...
I guess we're going to be watching Bull in August.
I was really impressed by Bull, because the scissor kick he did was as good as
the jump up clothesline.
And that jump up clothesline was brilliant, and he looks like a boss. Like, he looks really hard.
Yeah, he looks like a boss man.
The boss man's days are numbered. But yeah, I would put over Bull and Boss Man, and in my main event is a triple threat. Now the key thing for this, and this is where my booking is key. Book Vince off. You don't need Vince McMahon, and you don't need Shane McMahon, and you don't need Stephanie and all that sort of shit. So Foley hasn't been retired at what's the name? No Way Out. He wants a third chance at a match. He wants in the match. He gets granted that by Linda McMahon on the provision that he puts his career at risk. Triple H doesn't like that, but utilises this to play up to the Rock of, am you going to be the man that ends Mick Foley's career? Which convolutes the Rock's mind. And I would have the spot in the match, and like the Ric Flair Shawn, where Rock knows he's got Mick Foley beat, Triple H is out of the match, but he can't bring himself to pin Mick Foley. Mick Foley's saying, finish me off, do it, and stuff like that. And because of that confusion, Triple H manages to retain over the Rock, and either way, Rock hasn't won and Foley's been retired, because you can play up to that no end of ways differently going forward. But Triple H has retained his title, because it's not a problem in this era if the heel goes over.
Yeah, because that was the problem. Because this is the first time that a heel has ended Mania. Because Vince was always under the impression send him home after.
Yeah, and if you want to do the McMahon storyline later on, you can. But I think the McMahon storyline's played out
Even if
I mean, how long does it last throughout 2000? Does it still go on all the way through 2000?
it went on till 2015.
Well, I mean,
Still going on now.
Right, well, yeah, it does go through all the way to 17 because he's fighting.
Yeah, no, but it was more the WCW shit that was going on at that point, weren't it? And yeah, I can't really recall how it all sort of fizzled out.
Vince fights Stephanie in an I Quit match.
We'll see that.
2003.
We will do it.
But I mean, in the summer, it's all the Angle Stephanie love triangle thing. And
Yeah, with Triple
Rock.
H. Rock's there.
Yeah, Rock's
just champ.
Yeah, Rock just sort of is there, isn't he? He's sort of a bit weird. But yeah, and Rikishi did it for the Rock. Yeah, so still did it for the Rock in my rebooking as well. Sam?
Right, mine, you will have heard a lot of this already. But I've not put them in order.
Okay.
But
Well,
I would have. I've tried
with
to.
a world top.
Closing with Bull.
I'll go for bottom to top. The hardcore battle royal. Let's just get this out of the way.
God.
I would keep that the same, but I would have it there. They end the thing, but I would add 3 people in it:
I wonder who this is gonna
Three
be.
Bossman, Al Snow, and Blackman.
Oh, okay.
I would add them 3 because I think
Not Test or Albert.
no, them 3 because I think
They've
get
got a
them in it
match.
because they've been the hardcore, what have you.
Yeah.
Taz can win it, and then you can end the 24/7 there because that's just nonsense.
Yeah.
That's run its course. So that's the hardcore battle royal out of the way. I've
You're
tried.
upset by that.
Yeah, I've tried to get every title on the show. So there's
Good luck.
there's a woman's one, and I've put
There's a woman?
there's a woman's one. Jacqueline the Ivory. Stephanie's not the champ.
Oh, okay.
Do not give her the belt. She doesn't need it. Nonsense. And them are the 2 best workers at the time.
Okay.
So you can show that we do have some women who can wrestle.
Yeah.
So get that on. Shane v Big Show. I would do the same. If the thing happens where Rock the fuck up at the Rumble, because they have the match at No Way Out, don't they? Big Show and Rock for it. Because Big Show wins and then there's a convoluted way. You could have that match at No Way Out, but then have Shane cost Big Show by mistake. Then you could turn Big Show face and have that match, which carries on later in the year anyway. Rikishi and Tuchel v the Radicals. Again, you could have China there. I would have the Radicals go over. And probably similar thing with China. Obviously not Tony yet.
Yeah.
Kane v X-Pac. Just to have Kane just beat him because he needs to. Sorry, Road Dog. Tag team ladder match. Exactly the same. Triple threat for the IC and European. Exactly the same. World title match is just a 1-on-1. I would keep Fowley out. Obviously Big Show's moved down. Triple H v Rock. I would have Vince in Rock's corner because he's leading off from what happened at Armageddon where Stephanie and Triple H turned on him. Rock obviously would lose. He would try and help him win and he would accidentally cost him. So you could still have Vince turn on Rock but not go with Triple H because he still hates him. So you can still have a few going around each other instead of him just going with Triple H who screwed him over. It just don't make sense. So if Vince wants to be there so bad, let him. Just don't go with Triple H. So that would be my card. It's small matches, but I think at that time was this the longest Mania they had? Except
Probably.
3.5 hours.
3.5 hours. So
Didn't have
you could
Midian
have
on.
that.
That was your card.
That's true. Where's Midian?
And Gangrel?
Name on Heat.
Bargain for Gangrel.
Alright, Gangrel and Midian v Test and Albert on Heat. There you go.
What a mess.
There you go.
Terrible reading.
So that'd be mine. Very
I'm going to take out the on Heat and now everyone's going to think you've up the main event.
in the main event.
well, I can be wider.
SmackDown 2 main event.
Rodney, Pat, and Rock. That was this Mania.
Mine's a lot different as yours. Because ain't people like it.
Oh, God.
But you can all kiss my ass. We're opening with the European title.
Just the European.
Just the European. It's Kurt versus Taz. It's Taz. Because, what's the matter with you?
You booked out that amazing triple threat.
I don't care.
Got the crowd booms.
Taz, people love Taz.
Everyone did love
Taz
Taz.
is very over.
Yeah.
He is undefeated going into this, so is Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
The streak versus the streak. Taz.
Have you booked out Taz
We
beating
Wins
him
the
at Rumble?
European title.
Taz would win, and then I would book Taz as the badass, just kills everyone.
The
Okay.
European title becomes the WTF title.
Well, I'd have it like the TV
Yeah.
in ECW with RVD, but I'd just have him beat
Okay.
everybody to the point where he will combine it with the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Match number 2 is the lovely hardcore battle royal. Ben thinks this is worse.
Yeah.
It's
I'm going to
not.
watch WrestleMania
Crash,
2000 again.
Hardcore, The Posse, Viscera, Kaientai, TNA, APA, and D-Lo.
D-Lo!
Because I looked at D-Lo and thought, oh, get him on.
You mean they've got Godfather on? Anyway,
He
carry
ain't
on.
got a match, but it's somewhere. And Crash
Oh,
wins.
God.
What's the matter?
He's going to be in the corner of the Rock, isn't he? In the main event.
There's a Godfather in every corner. Godfather, Karma, and Shango. Crash wins, obviously. Yeah. Because why not? The next 3 matches are all linked, and again, you're not going to like it, but I don't give a shit because, this is WrestleMania, baby. It's Scotty with Chyna and Grandmaster in the corner versus Dean Malenko
Yeah,
versus Eddie and Saturn.
Versus
Dean Malenko with Eddie and Saturn
Eddie
in the
and
corner for the light heavyweight title.
Eddie and Saturn
Okay.
on the show and
Scotty-
just in the corner of the light heavyweight
No.
champion.
No,
Yeah.
they're not.
Oh, okay.
This all leads into the
next
match
one.
later. So Scotty wins.
Yeah.
What
the
happens
belt.
is
Scotty
somebody
wins
comes
the,
out
So
after
because-
this match and then books like a 6-man tag
No,
like Raw.
these 2 matches, Scotty winning and the next match. The next match is the best match WrestleMania has ever seen. Has to happen because of
Go
the
on.
3rd match. The next match is there's people in the corners there. So there's Rikishi there and there's Perry Saturn. So Rikishi fights Perry Saturn. Yes, that's better. And Rikishi
No, it
wins.
ain't.
So because them 2 have won,
This is
that
bad news.
means
This is a
that
series.
China. Yeah, this is them 2 have to win, but China, no Grandmaster, because there ain't enough radicals. China then gets the match with Eddie.
Great.
That's what it's all
Okay.
leading up to, and Eddie's going to win, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you shit on my beautiful card.
I
Next
want to
match.
see this now.
I know. Rikishi v Perry Saturn would
He's
be a
done
great
this on
match.
SmackDown too, I think.
I was,
Random.
I was off work.
It was off your head.
I was skiving work and I did it in an hour. The next match,
Does it- I'm gonna
everybody
say-
I'll edit that out. Now you can leave it. I don't care. Next match, IC title, Jericho v Benoit. Is that helping you?
Well,
Jericho's champ, by the way. 'Cause he's
Hasn't-
champ it no way out.
Yeah, it
Yes,
hasn't,
he is,
hasn't got quite enough angle in that match, but yeah. so
Angle
I'll
lost to
accept
Taz and Benoit wins.
it. Okay.
The next match you'll love.
Oh, God.
It's Bull and Boss Man versus Head Cheese. Bull and Boss Man win. What's the bit? Just. I've given up on your card, but is this better? Just humour me and tell me the story of what? Bull and Boss Man versus Head Cheese. Why is it on the card then? Well, Head Cheese are doing the gimmick of the thing. It's the come down match after the intro. Head Cheese are doing the thing after the, whatever, check of the cheese. Bull and Boss Man are getting built.
I think Vince
Let's
is going to
go.
give you a job
Yeah,
after
but-
this.
Oh, this is great.
But on the real show, you had Head Cheese v TNA and you had Trish. There's no tits in this.
Trish is in the hardcore. Well, right here.
Is it?
Well, TNA I'm in there.
Oh.
She win it.
Well, she can
Choke
come
out
out.
Taz.
She can come out near the start. Oh, Taz ain't in it.
Oh, God,
Taz
it's
beats
the
Angle,
forgot.
do we? Next
It
match,
works.
tag triple threat ladder.
You keep it there.
Hardyz, Edge and Christian.
Thank God for
The
that.
APA.
And the Dudleyz and Edge and Christian win. Next match. Oh,
Oh, God.
it's still there. There's 11 matches on this.
11.
It's still here. It's the cat fight. It's the cat fight.
Yeah, I had it.
Val is still ref.
What? You've kept it
I've
in?
kept it in, the cat v Terry, but the cat's going to win clean. No Mae Young and all that crap.
Okay.
I'm just following the ladder. You need a spot where the crowd can relax.
You've had that
The
all
cat
the way through
wins,
the card?
And then at the end,
You
you can
need-
have Godfather come out and do the Hobbit
Okay.
with Val.
Fabulous.
Right.
Don't you shit on my card! Next match, Kane v X-Pac with Road Dogg in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kane wins.
We've all booked that,
Yeah,
so that's
I
fine.
can't create the
Main event,
Mae Young.
Just because I booked Rikishi Perry Saturn doesn't mean
I want to see that.
And that-
That'd be an alright, mate.
solid. And it needs to happen for the China Eddie story.
It's going to be the 4.
No, it's a triple threat. Because Foley's retired.
I've seen
In
that
my
video.
eyes.
Yeah,
I call you him. So it's a triple threat. It's Triple H, Rock, Big Show.
Yeah.
And Triple H is returning.
Yeah.
Because,
That's it.
well, Triple H has got to return in my eyes because he's better with the belt than The Rock don't need the belt.
I had
Yeah.
Triple H.
Going
return. We
into
all
the
had
late
Triple H.
Oh, I should have
return.
said Big Show wins it.
But none of you had Rikishi going over Perry Saturn. Or Scotty winning a belt.
There's a reason for that.
Or D'Lo randomly being in a hardcore match because I wanted him on the card. And I scribbled out Saturn to put him there. And I forgot about K and X-Pac, so I had to write it at the top.
So you would have left that story.
Well, I did it all, and then I did that kind of thought, oh shit, I've left off K and X-Pac. That was the whole thing.
And as you prepare to watch Roman Reigns versus Goldberg in a couple of days' time, do remember it could be Perry Saturn versus Rikishi.
You can crap on it all you want.
To be honest, I'd rather watch Rikishi Perry Saturn
Rikishi
than
Perry
Goldberg
Saturn
Reigns.
in the year 2000 would have been a good match.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we've been to the year 2000.
Maybe that's who Saturn.
Not much has
That's who
changed.
you could have booked to mental Saturn after he got sting faced.
But, yeah.
Then he's
yes.
Iger for it.
Anyway, that has been our rebooking.
I'm glad
so
I went last.
do let us know if
Whenever you go last, we know there's something.
You know, I
mental
just
going
something
on.
weird going on. Jeff the Pizza or Papa Shell go on a mountain.
Yeah,
Or
killing
Rikishi
them
Perry
all.
Saturn.
Where's the
What's the
lockbox?
worst
Where's the lockbox?
I never booked bloody Ricky Ortiz as a clown.
No, but you booked Sexy Warrior.
Yeah, that was good. I got Mark Merrow over on there.
I don't know about that.
He got over.
Alright.
and we continue to do this to remind you that creative could be worse. But if you
telling
do
you.
have any
I'm available for booking.
better ways to rebook
You
it,
watch your phone will ring in his
TNA.
TNA.
will phone me up when we're done, Callis.
but if you do have any better ways to book it, let us know at
don't.
our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/BCC Pod. On Twitter at BCC Pod, drop us a like and a follow there. Or our website, which is bettercallcreative.com. And don't forget to check us out on YouTube to subscribe for our video podcast. Just search Better Call Creative. But there you have it. We round out every episode, as we always do, with a fantasy card. And for the most overbooked, for the most overbooked WrestleMania of all time, what we challenged each other to do was to make up a 6-match card. I've got 6. Everyone got 6?
Yeah.
6-match card of WrestleMania main eventers, but in the most overbooked way possible. As Jack rounded out the fantasy card so amazingly, I'm going to open with Jack so he doesn't get the last word on this.
on.
So Jack, match 1 of your fantasy
Rikishi Perry
card.
Saturn. No,
I
I've
never
kept
main evented
the main
anything.
event,
Okay, so you've
but
done-
I've put stips on every one.
No, I was on Mans and Store Stips.
okay, that's fine. They're all main events, so that's right.
Yeah, so it's
you've got-
Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle
Uh-huh.
in a cage, Hell in the Cell stretcher match. So you've got to
Bloody
get
hell,
out,
that is.
You've got to get out
out
of
the cage,
out
through
of
the cell, put him on the stretcher, and drag him over the line.
Who wins?
Brock.
Right, mine, it's not the main eventers, sorry, the same main events. It's,
Yeah.
it's people who was in main
Yeah.
events with just stipulations. And my first one is Roddy Piper versus Mr. T in a Lion's Den.
Oh dear.
Going over that.
Piper.
Oh, Mr. T.
They had a boxing match. This is the ultimate blowout.
Well, mine, you think you've overbooked it. Mine is Randy Orton versus Batista versus Ric Flair in a 7 out of 8 falls bicycle on a pole tuxedo swimsuit contest, and the winner gets to wrestle Triple H in an Iron Man Lion's Den monster truck on a pole match.
The fucking thing.
And I would put over Ric Flair.
Now I'm telling you, would you rather watch that or Rikishi Perry Saturn?
I don't know, I want to see a pole on a pole on a pole.
Pole
like
on
you did
a
last time.
bicycle on a pole.
Ivan Putchki on a pole.
Well, mine's a monster truck on a pole. I don't think
How'd
it's
you
quite
get that? Big's the pole.
7 out of 8 falls. I did the maths.
7 out of 8.
7 out of 8. Does that even work?
What if
What if somebody gets? What if it's 1-1-1 after 3? No one could win.
Who's going to fight Triple H in that Iron Man match? That's what I wonder. Ric Flair
Do we
is.
have Flair?
Flair was in the match, just in case anyone questions on Twitter. We did say double main events count. So.
Yeah, that's true. Match number 2 is John Cena versus The Miz in an empty arena, boiler room, scaffold table match. So you're going to go out the boiler room, into the empty arena, up the scaffold and throw them off through a table.
I love that at Mania as well.
At Mania. Everybody's been in
slightly
for the first match, and then everybody's got to leave. And then they could come back later.
Who's going over?
Cena. Does he call who's, can he?
I feel all mad about the book because it's just one stick. I've just put my matches with sticks on. My next match is a tag match. It's Hogan and Savage versus Flair and Sid in a tag team strap match.
Who's getting the yapper pie?
Together.
Yeah, all together. Who's going over? So they're just walking around.
Like that. Just like the bloody... It's like the
All Japan
musical chairs match.
DDT Pro.
Who's going over?
Flair and Sid.
Brilliant.
Flair and Sid.
Well, my next match is Macho Man versus Ultimate Warrior versus Sid Justice versus Ted DiBiase in a winner gets Hogan to come out and steal their thunder match. So whoever wins can celebrate, but Hogan must over-celebrate behind them. And because of that, Macho Man's going to win. Because he's used to it.
Yes.
No, Macho Man doesn't want to win.
Oh, there you go.
Oh dear.
My match number 3 is Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
In a both hands tied behind your back yapper pie strap match. So your hands
So
are
you
tied
make them together
and then
with
you're
the
strapped. So you're behind. The strap's behind you and your opponent, so you can never turn round. And Hogan's going to win. Of course he is.
Hell. What's that?
Now I'm not
my
the crowd
next-
and back in there.
My next match is Brock v Angle. And I've just put it as an ultimate submission match.
That's not overbooked.
It's not overbooked. Put a monster truck on it still.
Go on then.
Submission
Monster
barbed wire.
Truck Ultimate submission
Everything
match.
else to pay on a ladder match.
Well, my next match is...
Brock's going over, by the way.
Okay. My next match is Bam Bam Bigelow versus Paul Orndorff versus
Bam Bam, don't you?
Bam Bam Bigelow versus Paul Orndorff versus The Miz versus Sergeant Slaughter in a winner gets to appear on the next WrestleMania in a match that isn't pointless match.
Where was Bundy?
I'll get into Bundy later.
Oh, okay.
Bundy's higher on the card.
And I'm going to put over Bam Bam because I like him out of the 4 more. No, Slaughter because he follows us.
Yes.
Yeah, we love you, Slaughter.
Lord, love you, Slaughter.
Well, Bam
Did you
Bam
serve in
dead.
the army?
My next match number 4, is The Undertaker versus Sid in a blindfold casket buried alive match. So you're blindfolded, you got to put him in the casket, then take the casket to the pit,
Still
and
with
throw
him
the pit.
blindfolded?
Yeah, and then throw the casket in the pit and then bury the casket.
So you might think you're in the pit, but you just throw him off the side of the...
Well, I'd want a spot where you put the ref in the casket or something. Or you think you're burying it, but you're going the wrong way.
Oh, God.
Taker would win, obviously, because he has to.
She's match. Oh, dear.
Sam.
My next
You're the
match-
come
And
down
it's
of
Mania.
every...
I am, I think, to be honest. Mine, I don't know with this, it's Warrior versus Yoko in a flag match. Because I want to see Warrior.
That's the most overbooked match of the whole card so far.
It's just because I want to see Yoko
Oh.
climb up that.
I want someone to go, well, that ain't realistic.
Somebody stops the podcast and they go, oh,
That ain't
nonsense
really.
now.
Who's going over in the flag match, by the way, Sam?
Yoko.
Of course.
How's he getting up?
Well, just to take that and times it by 4, I've got Big Show versus Andre versus King Kong Bundy versus Yoko in a ladder match. Because that would be the most amazing ladder match ever.
Fuji's getting up.
And going over in my match would be Andre the Giant.
My next match number 5, is Brett versus Sean in an Iron Man 2 out of 3 falls match. So you have to win 2 Iron Man matches. So you win 1. 60 minutes, you win 1. Then 60 minutes, And then if
It's
Brett
an
wins the next
180-minute
one, it
match.
could be,
Jesus
which
Christ.
it would be, because I would have it as a draw. All 3 falls are drawn, and then we go to sudden death, and Sean wins, and the boyhood dream comes true.
Sean wins immediately. Super kicks.
Yeah, for 3 hours
And tells
into
Brett
the
to get
match.
out of his damn ring.
0-0.
0-0.
Brett puts a headlock on for 30 minutes. But Sean wins overall.
Right, my next match is Brett v. Sean in an Iron Man ladder match.
You have to keep going up.
Going back down. Put
it back up,
Brett
Brett.
over because he's in bed.
Well, my next match is Rock versus Austin versus Hogan versus Cena in a Mount Rushmore match on the top of Mount Rushmore. And the winner of the match gets to do the next WWE movie. I'm going to put over.
No one would
Hogan.
want to win. Well, Hogan would have.
Yes, Hogan would definitely want to.
Then he
win.
could pose on Mount Rushmore.
Over Lincoln's head.
That'd be Hogan's head, wouldn't it? He'd have changed all 4 heads.
Yeah. Hollywood Hogan, Hulk Hogan, Mr. America, Underlings.
And that TNA dog noise.
Actually, they
Bow!
somebody made a dog noise on this there, though. Was it Lawler?
That was on the. Oh, was it on this
On
one?
the show, yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure he made a dog noise on this.
Unbelievable.
My main event is Triple H versus The Rock versus Big Show versus Mick Foley with the McMahon in every corner, because I call overbook it more than what they already
That's what
did.
they did.
Yeah.
It was really over.
Well, Triple H, 'cause
Okay.
I would have it exactly the same, because I think that's the most overbooked thing I've ever seen.
That's more than you buried
More
alive.
than a 2 out of 3 falls Iron Man, or both stands tab
Yeah,
behind
chip back in that by Indian strap match. Right, my main event is a triple threat: Triple H versus Rock versus Austin in an Attitude Era match, which is basically any fucking match.
Yeah. Everything gets overbooked anyway.
Yes,
And who's going over?
it's got to be Austin.
Well, my final main event is the ultimate WrestleMania main event. It is Mr. T versus Lawrence Taylor in a getting on a plane match. Because Mr. T never wanted to get on a plane, so the match ends with whoever is on the plane. And I'll put over Lawrence Taylor, because Mr. T always gets on the plane.
Well, he gets
Saudi
drugged.
Arabia.
So.
Or if it's in Saudi Arabia, because
No
I'm
one's going on
famous.
the
Yeah.
plane.
No.
Vince is the only one getting on the plane,
Yeah.
and he's waving him off. See you later,
Rock's
pal.
got his own plane.
But there you have it, an overbooked mess of a fantasy card. But if we could have overbooked it any better, do let us know. And remember to give us a follow on Twitter at BCCPod. Or follow us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/BCCPod. Head over to our website, see all our past archive podcasts or Jack's reviews and gaming reviews, music reviews at bettercallcreative.com. And don't forget to follow us and subscribe to our Twitter page. Subscribe and get reminders for future video episodes by searching for Better Call Creative. I keep going to say .com. Searching for Better Call Creative on YouTube now. That rounds out our episode 33 of our podcasts. But what will be our episode 34? Well, we are changing tacks. We're going out of Attitude and back a few years. To someone who did have a big impact on the Attitude Era. He would tell you he started the Attitude Era when he headed over to WCW and started the NWO. But before he was Kevin Nash and before he was Diesel, he was Oz the Great. He was Oz the Great and Powerful. How excited are you two to be taking a trip to the Emerald City to see?
I'm just thinking, how the bloody hell are we going to rebook Oz by keeping him as Oz?
Get him over.
And I must stress, that is the rules. You have to keep him as Oz. So there you go, folks. Do check back for episode 34,
Right.
where we check out the world of the great and powerful Oz.
Oh, God.
Good Lord.
But
I'm not looking forward to that.
before we get there, we had better sign off for today. So Linda McMahon with Sam Chance saying
Goodbye.
and Stephanie McMahon with Jack Chance saying
Goodbye.
and Robert McMahon, we think, with myself saying goodbye, folks, and see you again soon.
A compass team, a kitchen mom, an old fur coat with a bird on top, a moving mess of unpleasantness. Good grief, what a mess! Eggshells, porridge, bell meringue. Is this Prince Amir out in jam? In toast and head drop, you'll never guess. Oh no, what a mess! Though he's not a pretty sight, he really tries to do things right. With a mother who's tall and slim, I wonder how she ever thought of him. A shot that's scruffy, Afghan hound, a more Val Venis you've never found.